Lexis gonna be dying coming to you from the South Japan. Pinku style like we always do. I got my guy Lex as always. You know what I mean? It's a normal occurrence, so I ain't gotta introduce him. If you gotta introduce him, go back and look at like podcast number 30 something. But I think maybe 20. I think you were in there before the 20s, right? Or shit.
Man, I don't know. I'm family.
You were in there for a while because actually it was here because I didn't start doing these joints until I got to this shop. All my ones in my last shop were all like in shop because I was still learning, still getting the production down. So it was like early, probably like maybe early 30s. Anyway, it's back. Just put Lexis King Pinku style, and you'll get it. You be able to catch up, man. Like guys out there know, man. We don't we don't like do like we just we hit call and talk, man, and everything. So anyway, man, what's been going on?
Yeah, man. Sure. Man, nothing too much, man. Same old same. Weather's good. Days are long. I'm enjoying it, man. What about you?
Oh shit, man. It's one of those weeks, man, where it'd be like, it ain't this is one of those weeks, man. It's one of those weeks.
It's one of them adult ones.
Yeah, it's one of those weeks, man, where like, what I mean, you could be like tell people to fuck off, or it's like you got responsibilities, and with the shop, people get told to fuck off within reason. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like if I push the schedule together and I told them, hey, I'm gonna be done on Thursday, I really kind of stick to that. So there was 3 cars that were done on Thursday. So just imagine that they all didn't start until Monday. So I'm talking about timing jobs, tuning, suspension, like all that in 3 days, man. So I mean, that's the only thing that keep me going is I know those guys are there doing the same shit, man. But at the end of the day, you get that fucking pain right in your part of your head right here and shit. It's not like a headache. It's just like, yeah, your fucking mind.
Yeah, it's an anxiety or a stress one. I've had it all day today.
Yeah,
I went to work real early. Man? I was working for the city on a contracted job, police station, fire department, and the corporate yards. And then we're men, right? So our wife will tell us something.
Yeah.
I've been told you this is my son's graduation, his promotion from junior high to high school. So then she's like, I've been told you this. We got to be there at 11. I'm like, shit. I hit my job. I'm like, yo, I'm going to knock out everything from like 6 a.m. to 10. Yeah. And then I need that time frame off to go to my son's graduation thing. Then after that, go knock out the rest of the shit. So I've had a busy day too. Right. I've had one of them ones, but got to be there.
Yeah. And that shit, like you said, is like in your mind, because I do the same shit. In your mind, you'd be like, yeah, I know I can do all this shit between 6 and 10, but it's all other motherfuckers I got to deal with outside. And that's what happened, man. It's like, and I tell her, and all my customers are chill. Like nobody ever, because I never paint their narrative where they can be like, hey man, you said you can. I'm like, I said tentatively, I'll be done around that time. But like, if I'm not, then you're just gonna wait. Just that simple. But at the same time, you want to push, but it's like, it's not that. I mean, I know I can do all that, but then people drop in, deliveries come in, all the shit that takes you away from what your task is, and that's the shit that be like.
It's like you got a time frame bar in your mind. You're like, this is my time frame bar. And every time somebody comes in and does something.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What's the second one?
It drops. Yeah, it drops and it'll drop. And it'll drop every time somebody interrupts it.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it. And once it gets into the yellow, this is the time, I have to do it.
That's the time when everybody be like, no phone calls getting answered. No, hey, man, you got later. And because it was one, I tuned the car. It was a Haltech. Luckily, it was a bass tune because dude got an old turbo, so I didn't want to really boost it up. So I went down to the emissions center, which we do emissions here, and I tuned it on the emissions machine. That way is actual.
Oh, really?
My guys let me do that. So I got him emissions tune and I got him a straight up power tune and everything. Drop the map in there, and he didn't know. I'm like, bro, you can have 1,000 maps. Like you pay for the Haltech, you know what I mean? You getting your money's worth and everything, right? So then I'm like, all right, man, I'll be back at the shop. But you'll be good at 16. What I said like 4:30, right? That was a 4. No, 4. Then I look at the phone. I was like, it's already
on it.
Yeah, I looked at the fucking phone. And I told him 1600 before I looked at my phone time. It was fucking 3:05. I'm like, fuck. So I gotta get all the way back.
You're like, it's 15:05.
Yeah. I gotta get back, and then also I had to go to the store grab my battery. So I'm like, man, I hope it's not on long lines. Go in there and get that, and then all that shit, man. And so pretty much 3 customers put cash in my hand, and 3 customers got their cars back on the same day. Like, so I mean that's yeah, man. You know, normally I do 1 customer a day, because I like to break it down and talk to them and everything, but they're understanding and everything. I'm like, hey man, sure, you know, we'll link up again, but I still give them a little back brief. But yeah, man, all that's saying all that, man. I know I'm one of, you know, I know we got our guy Litterer out there getting ready for his joint. You doing your thing, like I say, we ain't even talk, and like we just talking now, and you doing your thing. So like that's why I
got all your damn tires back here.
I see.
Mount up, go test.
Yeah, I see. What tires are they?
Falcon 660.
Okay.
So I'm stuck on them. They're good. They work. I'm going to run 1 set on the stock RX-8, the other set on the track RX-8, and the stock RX-8, obviously, because I got knuckles and shit on it, and wide. So I'm going to do a combination of gripping and drifting.
Okay.
And see how that works out. See how long the tires last. So I'm gonna get to have some fun with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna check though. I'm gonna get order a set just to see how they feel, and comparable to the stuff over here and everything, man. So there's a lot.
I do have RSRRs that I'm going to be comparing against them as well.
Okay. What are they?
So I've got a full set of RSRRs and a full set of these that I'm going to throw on the RX-8.
You know, the cool thing, I know you can do it too, and people don't want it. People like don't wonder why, like you're like I know you do this because I do it. When I see a certain set of tires, I like rub them and shit because you can kind of feel
touch them for sure.
Yeah, you can feel like these bullshit. These good because they got.
Walk up to them, just know the aura. The aura comes, you just touch them.
Yeah.
Ooh, these are strong.
Yeah. So
I touch them too and see how the tread blocks wiggle, or if they don't.
Yeah, you handled have you handled RSRs before, or you got them already?
So I've got them. I just never put them on.
Okay. I mean, just like touch, just
595. Yep. Touched on them.
Yeah.
Felt them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like their tread pattern, how it looks. It's a stylish looking tire, if anything, sure. But I'm excited to put them up against them. But those are 235s that I got the RSRRs, and these are 245s. Okay. So we'll see how it holds up. That I'm gonna run comparison on the drift situation. So we'll see how that works out. But I'm super excited to check that shit out. And then other than that, man, it's just basic stuff, riding, jamming out on the bikes. Found out one of my project bikes that I was working on has extremely low compression, but that's what I get for buying a used bike. All isn't lost, but it's just like shit. I was supposed to be getting the bike back to do some things, but we know that's how projects go. So nothing to be mad about, and it's a labor of love anyway, because I bought it fucked up, rebuilt it pretty good, and I rode it. It was riding fine, but you've had this? I know you've had this. Something that you know ain't perfect, but it works, and you're like, all right, cool, it's fine. I'll fix everything later, right?
Yeah.
And then when you go to fix everything and make it perfect, then the whole thing goes to shit. It doesn't work good anymore. And it's like, what just happened? It was working. If I left it shitty, you know. But I went and had them do valve jobs, do everything basically to make that bike pristine. And now it's firing, and then it's just dumping fuel, but it's not really dumping fuel. It's because the compression is so low, it's just not firing. So I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, man. But like speaking on that, man, because we just vibing on that. We'll get to Mayweather and Paul after this, man. I hit you up, man, because she's like, I got, you know what I mean? I'm spoiled, man. I got you, and then I hit up you and Mar pretty much, the only bike guys I like. I mean, outside of my guy James, who sold me the bike, that dude, man, I was like, bro, you need to open a shop, man, because I'm like, man, this work. He's one of those guys who has that shop level skill, but he don't want nothing to do with that shit. Like, I'm like, bro, everything is meticulous, man. Everything is clean. Everything is routed. Everything is marked. Cause they do Moto X every weekend. So he's going out this weekend. He invited me out, but I'm be in Tokyo. So I was like, yeah, definitely next week. I was like, he gave me a helmet, gear, everything. I got a whole getup already. He was like, yeah, man, I I went to his garage, small garage. You open that bitch up, bike shit everywhere. You know what I mean? Small little garage, man.
Supposed to be.
Smell like 2 cycles.
But that's how.
Yeah, dude.
That's how bike dudes are. My OG that works on my bikes, he don't want nothing to do with nobody. He only works on everybody's bikes that he likes, that he fucks with, or if he really likes the bike. Other than that, nah.
Yep. I asked the same thing. He was like, yeah, man. I tried to, you know, even with other bike guys, and I tried to do shit for them, and then they go out and ride and smash the shit up. He'd be like, hey, man, I think this is off. I'm like, dude, I did you a favor. Number one, you know what I mean. Number two, you're jumping a bike off a fucking hill. It's going to break. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
Or
like,
with two-stroke dudes, they leave it pinned for too long and it sees.
Really?
It's like, come on, idiot. Yeah. So since you're new to the two-stroke, and I just learned this because I'm not super familiar with two-stroke, but I asked Shamar this because I said, why two-stroke dudes always be like, nah, like they'll get it all the way. Like you'll see dudes out in a wide open place. Maybe you guys don't have that much space out there, but out here they'll sing that shit off of like limiter 17 grand or whatever. They get up to it and then back off of it, and then get up to it and then back off of it. Because you can't just get it all the way up on limiter or all the way up in high RPMs and leave it there. It can't sustain that.
Yeah.
So that's where the 4-strokes is. You can do for days and they're good to go. 2-strokes provide you with enough power that you're good to go on the track and just, you know, pin it up and then drop it down.
Yeah.
So
yes, that's something that gotta get used to too, because like we used to I'm new to the game, like no doubt, like with the humility and everything, and so I'm asking all the guys what's up, and also the cool thing is like, bro, there's so much. It's like YouTube is got all the shit on there just waiting for you to search it, and I'm like, now my page is just, it's all these channels with like how to do this, how to do that, how not to wheelie, how to wheelie, how to hit the ruts. I'm like, bro, this shit's overkill. Then I seen this one video I know you seen. It was this Russian cat, and I guess he fell asleep or some shit. It was staged. So he's like, he had a dental appointment, and he woke up and just start that bitch up and like, and it's gone. I'm like, holy fuck, man. Like, this motherfucker is just wheeling everything, table, like just killing it. And I'm like, man, I just want to ride half that good. And I'm like, god damn. I mean, I'm talking about that control he has on a bike is the same I would correlate to how I can manipulate a drift car. And it's like, I know it can be done naturally. I mean, obviously with skill and everything and time, but it's like, man, that shit after being on that bike, and it's also I know you've seen the pictures. The bike is taller because he set it up.
Yeah. So it's actual motocross.
Yeah, I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, this is 125. It's up. It's like past my waist. And I'm like, I'm on my fucking tippy toes. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit, man? Like, you sit on it, it goes down where you can kickstart it and
soaks.
Yeah. I'm like, man. So it's just, you know, it's like to people out there, man. Like, I think a lot of guys just stuck in their ways, man. For me, it's just refreshing to have something else new to learn, because not saying I don't know everything about cars. I know a lot of shit. Not the best driver in the world statistically, but I'm better than a lot and up there, can hold my own. But it's like to have I'm solid. We can drive. I mean, it's good, but it's like to have a new skill that you got to learn like from zero.
Right.
It's a refreshing feeling, actually.
It's something really dope about coming into something new, like literally fresh and new, clean slate. But you have the mentality to understand, I'm going to learn this to be proficient at it.
Right.
I don't just want to get it to get on and be tight. I want to learn this to be good at it.
Exactly.
And then you actually take steps to become like really good at it.
Yeah.
And then eventually a year from now, 2 years from now, depending on how much ride time you get, you could be jamming, and then people will be like, oh man, you're such a good rider, man. How long you been riding? And you be like, dog, this is my first bike. I just picked this one up.
Yeah.
I was riding mini bikes around a little 70-foot lot a little while ago.
Yeah, because it's the mentality, man, too. Because it's like, it's weird because like the way the fucking mind works. Because it's like, dude, I'm a pro drifter, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? And then I'm on a bike and I stalled it. I actually flooded it out, stalling it. And because the dude, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, man, you know, there's a race clutch in it. He's like, on and off. There's no fucking. I mean, you can ride it, and I don't want to do that. And I did do it a couple of times just to get it going. And my buddy, my shop assistant, check this shit out, man. This motherfucker's a stunt rider, and he never told me about it until like
really?
he was like, yeah, I ride bikes, and he showed me pictures. This motherfucker standing up on a bike, doing a circle, like all this shit. And he had a real bad injury as a result of a fall, MCL, ACL, and all that stuff. And I'm like, bro, that like you just said you ride. And I'm like, all right, cool, you ride. I'm like, that's more than riding, dude. Like he doing the shit you guys are doing. You got the fucking the 5 brakes and shit, and this bike looked like shit. But I mean, you know, as far as
look like shit, but they ride so good.
Yeah, so I'm like, man, you doing more than riding this shit. So when you get back on, we gonna talk about that shit. I'm like, man, he's a real modest dude, which is cool and everything. And
awesome.
he's like, yeah. It just seemed like if somebody come up to you like, yeah, I ride bikes, and you leave it at that, and they just think you ride around town and shit. Like, nah, motherfucker, I ride.
But that's kind of how I do. You know, people be like, oh man, this just guy ride, you ride? I'd be like, yeah, I ride.
Yeah.
What are you riding? I always be like, oh, 600s. And people think, oh, 600s. Oh, you got the big ass nigga on the little punk ass bike. Be like, this bike right here will whoop ass, right? I got the R1 over there. I got another R1, but this is so I always just tell them, hey, 600s. Then you see like in the back roads this weekend, I was just back there chilling, and I go quarter pace. It's literally a quarter pace. My wife always asks me, she's like, how do you be doing something so extreme, going so fast, doing so much shit, and you're still talking hella calm? I'm like, you have to understand, I'm really not pushing this bike. I was like, motorcycles have an uncomfortable aura. You look at it and you're seeing what's going on, and you're like, that scares me, so that's terrifying. But me on the bike, I'm like, I'm having a blast, and I'm just chilling. Yeah, and it's really no anxiety to it. It's just like, this is hella fun. And you know, like the video that I put out this morning, I kind of put a mix of stuff in it. I did track riding with one dude. I was mashing. Another dude came through. I chased him down. He was going this way. It was a real like initial D type or just a battle stage type thing. I was already about to make a U-turn. I signaled to the guy behind me because I slowed down. It was a long straightaway on the tollgate. I slowed down so he can catch up. I used my red gloves so he could see, because I always ride mismatched gloves on purpose. Always. If you ever look at any of my videos, it depends how I feel. If I'm on demon time, my throttle hand is the red hand. If I'm not, then my red hand is clutch hand. Or if I'm super calm, all white gloves, or a white glove and a black glove. So I do those kinds of things on purpose. So I was chilling. So this was my red hand, off throttle hand. So I told him, you know, U-turn. So we get ready to pull a U-turn. The car goes into a parking lot, and this dude on this Aprilia V4 goes by. Bang! I'm like, damn, that thing sounds good. Lunch. So I go make the U-turn, and I'm like, what? And I run the guy down, and then he gets to kind of picking up the pace, but he already realized, like, he wasn't riding slow. This guy he's just saw going the other way has already caught him, and now he's starting to pick up the pace, and I'm still bearing down on him. It just ended up being like, to me, I'm laughing, having fun, because I'm like, yeah, because to me, in my head, it's always a scene from Initial D or a movie or something, just like an aggressive chase scene or something. I'm always having a blast in my head, right? And then he like waved me off, like, all right. No more. I'm like, oh, okay, let me back off. I forgot. I don't know him. New rider. Don't know how he rides. I'm tripping, pressuring him. But then he starts taking it again. I'm like, nah, cuz the man in me won't allow you to wave me off and then try to mash off. No, come here. Come back here.
Come back here.
To the point, he was like, all right, that's enough. And then I went by him, and then I bounced off and took off. But he's a cool dude. At the next rest stop, we chatted up. He just was living. He lives in the area, so he's just riding back and forth like we were doing that day. We rode up there and was just riding back and forth. But then I come home because my wife, since I'm up in the mountain, I don't have any reception. I get to a spot where I get reception. My wife's like, "Dude, there's hella dudes on bikes over here at the house waiting for you." I'm like, not many people know where I'm staying, or know where I stay at. So who the hell are these people? So then I start getting calls. I know who it is. He brought some other cats and whatever. It's like, okay, well, I'm headed home. Came home, swapped the 600. I know they ride fast and maniacal as hell. So I got on the leader bike, got on the R1. So I'm busting wheelies. I'm having fun. And I ride fast off general, but these dudes rode like a batch of fucking hyenas running around out on the pride trying to kill something. And I'm like, that is not what I do.
Yeah.
I'm very precise. I'm super precision. I do go fast, but I go fast enough. Like if traffic's doing 80, I'm doing 120. It does seem like when you hear that variance in speed, it does seem crazy. It's really not. But I stay and I weave very tight lines. If this is the center line between the lanes, that white dotted line, I only go a tire's width on either side of it, because you can split lanes in Cali is legal, even though it's other stipulations up to a certain speed, up to whatever traffic's doing. But you always have about 5 feet of room or 4 feet of room between mirrors. I judge mirrors. That's not, a bike ain't that wide, so right. I have more than enough space. These guys are dipping and fucking yoking and flying through the lanes. I was like,
hey, these guys got kids?
I do, yo. So, I don't know, right?
They like got they almost.
So, yeah, it was nuts enough to make me start chuckling, laughing. I was dying laughing because I was like, okay, that looks nuts. Now, me, if you're driving a car, I'm not making no noise. I'm not doing no extra revving. I'm just speeding. You're sitting there. You could even be on the phone. I've already watched whatever your movement is. If you're clear of the line, I'm clear to go through. You can be on your phone and then, boom, oh, shit, but I'm there and I'm gone. Split milliseconds, right? But to get somebody to split and it's like, brah, brah, and then they come across the nose of your car and then they come, now it's a super spectacle that's terrifying. Now traffic's slowing down. I'm in and out. Damn, asshole, but I'm already, gone. This shit that they were doing was like, that's terrifying. So
you didn't know
if they're continuing on.
You didn't know these guys? Huh? You didn't know those guys before this ride out, or
not really? I only knew one of them. And so I'm putting 2 and 2 together as they're talking. And my OGE had already told me that he had rolled with some dudes that left him stranded, and because he had caught a flat, and they were doing 150 and above the entire way. So I started putting 2 and 2 together. I said, oh, these are those fools. So we got on the freeway, dude, and I'm chilling. I'm not looking at my speed, but I know I'm going through the gears. And it was one point where they're dipping and swerving, but they were going really fast. And so I got on it. I said, I just got to get closer to see this. I got to witness the whole act. Man, I look at the speedometer. I was doing 147. And they're still going out, and they got newer bikes, really powerful bikes. I was like, at that point, when I realized how fast we were going while they were doing that, and that they were probably going to be, and this is through traffic, so they're probably going to be doing this even faster once it cleared up some, and we were going about a 30, 40-mile range. I was like, this ain't for me. We're going to see a cop. It's going to be a chase. There's too many bikes for them to let that go. Like with me by myself when I'm jamming, if I see a cop, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But if there's 4, 5, 7 targets doing that, they're not letting that go. So I just was like, nope, not it. I got off, looped back, and I went home on my own. I was like, abort mission. I'm good with abort.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's like, just like while you the whole time you're saying that, because I'm like right outside my shop with this 135. And I'm like, bro, what the, like, again, being new to it, and again, the new feelings and all that stuff like that, because the PW80, and that's a big kind of gap, I guess. It's like, I didn't get like a reg 125. I got a fucking 125 that's literally ready to jump out the gates, because I let the clutch out, and I just wanted to see it, and I hit that bitch, and that bitch it's ready to go, like straight.
And you didn't even get in power band.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's
wait
what I'm
until
saying,
you hit
bro.
power band.
That's what I'm like. I'm like, what the? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just cracking it like I mean, it's like a little bit to go, and then I hit it a little bit, like half, and not even like cracking it hard, just rolling into it, and the fucking front is just. I'm like, dude. I mean, and then I was watching the videos too, and I was like, just curious, and I was like, I always watching and see it, and the guy was like, number one, mistakes of, because I'm gonna hit the track, so I'm looking at more of that stuff for the motocross. These are the biggest thing as beginners, like they want to sit down too much, like when they're riding, and like you use like saying you gotta use your legs as suspension, and also you can't control
your whole core.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you pretty much gonna sit, and I looked and I was like, that's right. You watch motocross, super motocross. Those dudes are standing up the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so that's like, damn. Overall, man, just getting that bike, and then like now, like I said, since we talked, we had Shamar on, and right before we got him on, I was watching a lot of stuff, a lot of Mr. Business stuff and everything, and it's like now that shit puts a different perspective into the respect for these skills, man. And motherfuckers out there saying, take it to the track. I'm like, man, do you know these motherfuckers are doing this shit on bikes on hard surfaces, man? You know what I mean? With no gear on, with nothing on, nothing, no helmet, no vest, no nothing, dude. I'm like, say what you want, man, but nah, man, that's skill right there, man.
So the OGs way back in the day, in the 80s, early 80s, that was their thing. Before they got to wheeling and everything, they all rode BMX. They go the New York tri-state area. They go over to win. They win a lot of BMX races because that was all they aspired to do was go.
I was one too. I was one too. Like BMX, it was like we were all into it. It was Mongoose, Diamondbacks, everything in the hood. The Mongoose GT, the Diamondback was the most stolen bike in Baltimore, man. I'm talking about stolen back, and it was stolen initially. Yeah. So I mean, you can't really cry about it. The bike stole. Then that shit gets stolen. Then just kept getting stolen, and we would go out. We would ride downtown and get shooed away. And shit, I told you before. So it was just like BMX was just. I always wanted to do like BMX, but there was just nothing around. I mean, nothing at all. Because Maryland's a little bit bigger
that's what started them in the street.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to do that. And then they're just like, damn, man, every time we want to go do something, load up the trucks, go hella far all day. We bring the trophies back to the hood, but it was just bring these dirt bikes out, hit these streets. And that's kind of what started all of that. So yeah, just the ambition to go. And think about it, now that you have a two-stroke bike, once you start to get that power band and feel that and learn that, then you look at them videos and look at these dudes and using power band to do stuff and how they're manipulating the power band. And then how they're like Boogie and them tuning that shit right there at power band or over power band, or you're gonna start to understand like these dudes are master manipulators.
I mean, I already knew that before, but it's just like getting on one, because like I said, I had the PW80, just to kind of get like acclimated to just being on a motorbike, like what I mean, because 80 was the biggest one I owned personally, and And like I said, I was looking for a Project 125s online, but they were like 6-7, and I'm like, I just paid $38 for this bike. That bike I got, $38. That's all. I'm like, bro. I'm like, bro. I'll get the cash. I sold some shit real quick. Like, I'll take that shit tomorrow. It wasn't even. There was no thought behind it. It was like, I gotta have that bike, man, because I was thinking in my mind, I don't want to be trying to learn like Boogie said and those guys said. I'm not trying to be learning on a bike that's head, because that, I want to fuck up because I fucked up. I don't want to fuck up because the bearing came off or this. I mean, I'm talking about you got the bigger spokes on it.
Yeah, what they call it, they call it a hoagie.
Yeah,
because you got a hoagie.
Yeah.
Nah, you learn because of, or you make mistakes because of the fact that you're learning, not because the bike limiting you. It's a limitation.
Right, because I can imagine like trying to do wheelies and your carb is fucked and it's like and then it bang. Like, cause that's how I felt the fucking PW. It was like stuttering, and then that bitch unlocked, and I had to fucking throttle all the way back because it was like and I like, all right, let me see if I go full throttle, and I went full throttle, and that bitch unlocked, and it's like and the bitch shot the fuck up, and I'm holding the fucking PW80 in the air like this, squatting and everything, man. So luckily I'm strong, but it still fucked my knee up. So Yeah, man.
Yeah, it'll happen.
A PW80. A PW80, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
these, it's a respect thing, and I'm gonna take it down the beach next week and just ride the beach because I'm right by the beach, so you can ride for an hour just straighten up and down on the beach. You can ride all the way up to. You can literally ride the beach all the way. I can ride the beach about an hour and a half all the way down to the city, like just and then come out the beach into the like wherever I want to go. Then you can. That's what the bike guys do. So they ride because they don't want to ride on the street. Some of the guys, so they ride their shit all the way at the beach. Then they'll come out and then they'll go to the wherever they got to go at, man. So it's pretty cool, man. But like I said, man, it's just a respect that is gained, you know. And then, I mean, I popped that bitch up like, you know, say this is the ground. I got it about this high, and then I was practicing using the back brake. And I'm like, man,
break it down.
These motherfuckers. Mar was like, hey, man, get those fucking brakes off there, though, because he said I got to get the red ones. Because I got gold ones in there now.
Yeah,
and he said,
because that's a Honda.
Yeah. He's like, man, I don't know about the back. No, the Hondas, man. You know, I mean, I like them, but you got, you know, brake system's all new. But he's like, just change those pads on it because those don't grab how we wanted to grab.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Them damn Yamahas, boy.
Yeah.
It's like I jumped on the R1 and I said, "Bomb!" And I'm just like, it's like I don't really trip off of how that brake's gonna work or if it's working. I know it's gonna work, so I just shoot that hoe up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fun bike. And you're on the east coast of Japan, huh? Northeast.
Yeah, northeast. Yeah. So pretty much, I'm right. I mean, literally, my shop is 2 football fields away from the Pacific Ocean, man. Like it's right. I mean, it's right there. So like, I'm right is in Japan. You're either on the coast or right in the middle. And most.
So what's that?
Sabishiro
Beach.
Yeah, it's like if you look at my shop and look on a map, it's right. I mean, literally, like if you look at the aerial view, you'll see the beach is right there. So the coastline is right there. So it goes up all the way down. So you can ride that. You can ride that all. Actually, if you go north, you can ride it all the way up to the tip.
That's why I always hear jets in the background.
Yeah, I'm right by.
You got the airport. Right?
Yeah, I'm by the airbase, man. Yeah, right. I'm right. That's all me, man. So like, if you look at the picture for Ariel, you see the water right there, right?
Where are you to the 170?
170. Well, I'm in Masao. You just put Masao. You see the airport, right? Masao Air Base.
Yeah. Masawa River.
Yeah.
How far is the river from?
I don't know where the river and shit, but
hey, yo, I always forget about the manji symbol.
Yeah.
Manji symbol. Yeah. Always throws you off when you first see it. For y'all that don't know what the manji is.
Yeah.
It always when you first see it, boy, what the fuck? Oh.
Yeah, the SWAT. Yeah. But no, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we put the Pinku style shows it right there. I'll put up an image so people can see, follow along. But man, it's I'm in a like I mean, even with the like I said, the drifting, I got into snowboarding. I'm in a spoiled. Yeah.
You left the northeast coast.
Yeah.
From,
exactly. Exactly.
The northeast coast.
Exactly. Same shit, man. I didn't even put that together just now. But the cool thing is like there's within from where I'm at, like right where I sit right now, there's about 5 or 6 motocross tracks like within 30 or 40 minutes. I mean, the one down the street is 5 minutes away. So I mean, I can literally go there anytime I want. And they have the actual track, and they got one outside you can actually get on, man. So like I said, the skill's gonna come because, like I said, I'm not abandoning cars, but like I'm gonna put up a video when I do my first actual video, just talking about the bike a little bit. It's like I'm doing the opposite of Brap and him, where Brap is getting into like car shit because of he's at the street issues and stuff like that, and it was with that, man. What's your take on that, man? He went back recently. I don't know if you've seen it or not, and him and Boogie chopped it up and had the thing, and it was kind of awkward a little bit when they talked about what went down, and when Brap went into the house, you can see Boogie dudes kind of give him notice, but it kind of that vibe was like whatever was
because they were kind of unsure, but right. I think the dope that they did was sat shoulder to shoulder as brothers, said we're brothers, said what I did was fucked up, and then at first the vibe was maybe off because them together had conversations in private and
Right.
they were good before everybody knew that
Right,
they were
right,
good.
right.
So if it's like if it say it's like I don't know, for instance, you have to kind of pick somebody big. So my little homie Mike, he and I have had disagreements in public, and people may or may not have known if we were cool or not. But on the low, he and I always talk. Publicly, nobody realized that we were still cool, I would say. And so then if I pop up somewhere and he popped up somewhere, but I'd be doing something or he'd be doing something, and then we don't talk, people would be like, "Ooh, see, they ain't cool."
Yeah.
So what Brap and them did is like maybe because they moved a little different, he kept coming back to Philly, and he didn't like pop up with nobody to go talk to nobody. And then Boogie'd go to Miami, and he didn't pop up with nobody to talk to nobody. So there's like, so I could see where it would be awkward, whereas you like, all right, come through, let's make a video, explain all this, squash it. Now Brap got his whole new group of people that he's rolling with. Boogie got all his people, but then you got that the film cat kid. He's kind of in the mix, maybe kind of knew a little bit, but wasn't sure. But then when they're like, "Nah, man, we're good. That was such a misunderstanding, and it was fucked up. We should have never did it. Yeah, I wanted to fight you." Other dudes like, "I was never gonna fight you, but I know what I was doing was petty and it was fucked up." So then it's like, all right, that's over with. We're super good. How do you show the city that we're good? Let's get on these bikes.
Yeah.
Show what it's all about, because bikes is really what holds the city down. Boom. I think that was like really dope, because when I used to watch Brap heavy, it was because, and myself, I personally always sided with Boogie's personality, because that's how I am.
Yeah. That's, I mean, nothing. That's kind of, and it's like you don't know. Like I don't know him personally, but you don't know you don't know, because he kind of seemed like he's because it's good, because it's better to have a guy like Brad versus a dude that just, and we talked about before. And dudes, they be kind of doing some cool shit, but they got like that. Yeah, guys, today we're gonna take off this turbo and put on it. Yeah, it's like that. I'd rather watch a guy like that. I'd rather watch a guy that's kind of almost borderline over the top than a guy that's just like no personality doing cool shit. It's just like you got to have that balance. And Boogie's is kind of more.
And Boogie was way more mellow.
Yeah.
But what time apart from him and Brap forced him to do, because he wanted to continue to do YouTube, it forced the personality from him, or probably which is his natural personality. Because like what Mike always tells me on my YouTube channel, he's like, blood, be how you are in real life. He's like, you in real life makes me want to be a character, and I pray what I get from you on my vlogs. He said, but you're naturally like that.
Yeah.
He would just be turned up, and that's what Boogie had to do. He had to get rid of the, okay, I'm talking to the camera, let me be cool as fuck. Cool as fuck ain't cool on YouTube.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's shaking, blah, 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 blah. Like, dribbling on the motherfucking camera, but you already fucking knew that. And it's kind of like, get used to him saying that, and then it's like, that's my comfort zone, you know? Him becoming a character now, and then Brap already being what he is, and then now you got them two together. Now I think they can be even more organic, because Brap's the wild, go crazy. Boogie's the cool nigga, hood nigga, like chill, but he's quiet and reserved. Brap's now they can both be.
Because actually, I seen the way I learned about Boogie was through Let's Take a Ride. Because I never, and then I of course looked him up, and I was like, man, it was around the same time I seen him was around because he wasn't uploading for a while, a little bit, or had a break in it.
Long, like 8 months.
Yeah. And I know exactly life happens or whatever, and my shit went almost 2 years before I uploaded anything. But then I seen him.
his YouTube, you see
Yeah,
at his house, he's got a big ass garage,
yeah,
hella bikes,
yeah,
cars.
yeah.
So it's
Dude,
like, what you doing?
hey man,
Get
I
bread,
was
cuz.
dying laughing on this shit when they had the cop shirt on, the cop shirts on and shit, and they were like,
Oh
bro. I'm like, they're in Philly because people be like, man,
yeah,
try it in Philly. Like they were in Philly doing that
they're
shit.
in Philly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they're in Philly. Hey man, I need you to get against the wall, man. All the motherfuckers is like, dude, that shit was funny as fuck, man. But it's one thing I watch it and it's like you can see the people that they allow around them. Obviously, they paid their dues and prove that they're cool. And because it's like from my personality, I and everybody's different. I don't. People like they wonder why I don't like a lot of people around me. Like I don't need to have like 1,000 people, and that's not saying they're bad for that, but that's just something I peeped out because I analyze stuff, and it's like, out of those 15 people who are around you, man, how many are really down for you? How many are really going over there and saying other shit or not keeping confidential stuff to because I know they had to deal with that too.
Yeah.
Everybody's crew, it wasn't really necessarily them, Boogie and Brat, but they got crew members. Maybe they talk a little bit more than they should to one crew member, and this crew member go over there like, oh man, fuck you, fuck this. Now you got some other, and this is all off of Willie and shit, you know what I mean? And Ben Tuba,
right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, but it's just with the car shit. Like, I notice a lot. I like to play dumb online, so I seen dude type up some shit like, "Oh man, who knew the drift scene has so much drama and this and that."
Everywhere,
I see it all. Drift scene is dramatic because dudes. It's interesting. Alpha males will be alpha males to beta males.
Exactly.
But when it's all alpha clashing up top, you're gonna see some beta bitch shit out of some proposed alphas.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
and then it's like,
hey, real quick on that. Look at the fucking UFC, man. UFC.
Yeah.
Everybody on that roster is a fighter, and these motherfuckers fighters, top of the line. They're arguing on Twitter.
Alphas.
On Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Right. You'll see bitch shit, beta shit.
And these are not fucking bitch dudes. These are killers.
They be the hardest in the area. Those are the alphas from everywhere.
Yeah.
But when it's all alphas, when everybody's on, like I tell my son all the time, I say, son, there are men that can work on cars.
Yeah.
There are men that can drive cars. There are men that can work on motorcycles. There are men that can ride motorcycles. There are men that can do exceptional things behind the wheels, drifting, very good at racing. There are men that can do exceptional things behind the handlebars, wheelies, racing. Then there are men that can work for it all, hustle, blood, sweat, and tears to make it happen and then do all that. And then there are certain men that just can't do shit like that, right? And I said, you're going to find the regular man, not that the just can't do shit person isn't a good dude.
Right.
It's just they don't have that elitism, right? So when you have that elitism, you're different than everybody else. No need to boast, no need to put that or wear that on your sleeve, but just understand you have a different understanding of things, right? So when all of these elites get around each other, like the drift scene, they're all of your elite drivers.
JTBJR.
Yeah, these are elite dudes. One dude's a quiet homebody fabricator. One dude's an entertainer, an entity, celebrity. Top level, clash at the top really fucking hard. You know what I mean? Like, this is gladiator shit. I've got a shield, I got a sword. We bang it out. I banged your shield off. He banged my shield off. Now we just got swords. The battle don't get any less. Now it's more intense. Motherfucker, I got to swing harder and more and faster because I fuck hitting the sword. I want to bang, stab your stupid ass. But it's just like, when you get to the point where it's alpha to alpha, there's going to be somebody more alpha.
Yeah.
Or
and on that, man, that's like on that particular day and situation, because it could be reverse.
Yes. I was going to say that. Yeah, it depends on that day, and that's where the phrase "May the better man win" or "May the best man win." That's where that comes from, because these are the best men. So they're saying, "May the best man."
Yeah.
Whoever is that best man, because this is the same level. May that best man for that moment win.
Right.
But when you're off the track, y'all are all like motherfucker. Because think about if we band together motorsports like drifters, right? So let's just say at most times there's 40 dudes that drift at this high level. Let's just say we all go to an event and there's 40 real high level drifters, and it's not a comp day, it's just be a badass day, and everybody's having fun runs, big trains, get downs. Then there's those car show dudes that cars are modified like drift cars and they look like that. And let's say we all drove from the event to a bar. We all drive to a bar, pull up, all these cars look like this. Bitches don't know who to choose. They don't know who the alpha is.
Yeah.
Right? But if you sit and watch long enough, the dudes that are being real cocky, real this, that, real whoop, you might be like, he's putting on like an alpha. Is that an alpha? You know what I mean? But, man, 9 times out of 10, there might be the quiet one over in the side like, man, give me a drink, man. I've been, all day doing. Let me just nice. You know what I'm saying?
Don't he have to say it like? Don't he got to like just let the vibe or the people recognize the vibe, and it's like you don't. Some people, and I think that's a skill in itself, man. Like feeling the vibe, feeling the energy from people. You can meet a dude in 5 minutes, my man. The guy might be a decent guy, but in this situation, whatever we're dealing with, this guy ain't worth shit or whatever. And most people, they shit people all around, always like their relationships. How they work on people's shit, stuff like that, man. So it's like you don't want to judge people, but at the same time, it's like, man, if you cool, you cool. That's just like one of those things.
Yo, I'm telling my son that right now. I answer just about every. I will say not just about. I answer every single DM, right? So I was talking to this one kid. I think he was from DC. I want to say he's from the DC area, and he was saying that it's you got to be driving a 2020, dressed like this, woo wham da bam, to be the cool kid.
Right.
And I said, no, sir, that's not true. And he was like, well, what do you mean? I said, you're young world, right? You're a youngster. If they're doing all of that, and he can recognize this at his young age, they're putting themselves in debt. They're doing this and that just to fucking be cool.
Keeping up with the Joneses and shit.
I said, sir, that's not being cool. He said, man, I just want a dope E36 M3. I just want to roll and use my car, but I'm in college and I said, sir, you're the coolest motherfucker on the planet. I said, but what you have to understand is your perception of cool is what drives cool. If that shit ain't cool to you, nigga, that ain't cool.
Exactly.
Period. They can try to tell you what's cool.
Hey.
Oh, you ain't ooh. That's work for y'all, my guy.
Hey, man, yeah, exactly. Is that like that shit? Like like last night I had an alpha moment, man, and it's like, what I mean, and nobody, no dude. It's just like for guys that are listening and watching, man, alpha, beta, Charlie, whatever type of dude or whatever. It's like that's just it's the way you carry yourself, the way you you give a man a frame handshake, you look a guy in the eye when you speaking. Breaking eye contact is fine because they were like dudes like if you stare at a guy too long, you're probably a fucking serial killer and shit like that. So it's like you just like looking at him like situation dictates and you don't break eyes sometimes or you don't break eye contact, but it's like for example, do I wear what you see me in this right here is what I'm in 16 hours out of the day. Yep. Yeah, this is what I'm wearing, right?
Dickie, black hoodie, and I might variate a different colored shirt.
So what I'm saying is I went to base last night to do some stuff, right? So it's in the military base is the guys that are here, and then there's the guys that come from different places. You could tell because they're all looking around and taking pictures, tourism type shit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting a vehicle pass, and I got this on. It's actually the same exact shit because I don't give a fuck. Same exact shirt and everything because I'm working in it. And so I'm at the thing getting a no, actually it was a pinker shirt than this. I was getting
it was a pink shirt.
Yeah, it was hot pink.
More fuchsia.
This is soft.
Okay,
this is soft pink. But I'm at the thing getting the pass, right? And these dudes walking, they're all about 6 foot. It's again those skills. I can size motherfuckers up really quickly. I look at them, glance
from
right,
a 10-foot distance. Yeah,
four dudes, cargo shorts, back hat, all had their hats backwards. So those type of guys, white guys or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I look at them, right, and then I kind of I could see them like they were all talking and loud, right, and boisterous, and when they see me, everybody stopped.
Yep, always.
Everybody stopped.
They recognize the alpha, right there.
And like this dude is black with pink on, bro. He's probably not giving a fuck about what you think. And like we didn't talk. Like one of the dudes, I gave him a slight hit. He looked at him. I gave him a slight head nod because he gave me the head nod or whatever. And but it was weird because they were all like, blah, 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 and then they come in the door and everybody stopped.
I love that moment.
Yeah,
I love that moment.
Like I didn't say nothing. I had my back turned. I just got.
But it's your choice at that exact moment.
Yeah,
it's your choice. It's like, so if people ever look at a pack of wolves, a pack of dogs, you can instantly identify the alphas and the betas. Now, betas are not the bad thing.
Right.
You have a gang of the baddest motherfucking betas on the planet. They're killers. But the alpha is that leader. The alpha stands up, head straight. He's making the moves.
Right.
Betas are looking at him. They walk half a step behind him.
Right.
And wolves move differently. The alphas are in the back, and all the betas are up front. But the point is, when betas recognize the alpha, you might get that moment.
That happens all the time, man. Here, man. The dudes that see a black dude that's almost 6 foot with a fucking red mohawk and all pink on, it's like, what the fuck? And they not from here, so the guys who from here see me all the time. So it's like whatever. But the dudes who come from like, they just fly, because you know in the military, you go TDY, you know about that stuff, when they go temporary location for like, they're just there for like 2 nights, plane is broken or whatever. So we get a lot
layovers.
They get the layovers, so they'll go in town and try to get some Japanese chicks and realize it's not as easy as they think it is. and then you hear them talking, right? Because that's they trying. Oh, I seen this girl over here, this and this and blah blah. Like they missed that boat. Those days are gone. But it's just weird because I'll always see him. I always kind of lock eyes with him because they're always looking hard as fuck. And they like, who the fuck's this dude, man? Because he ain't military.
You're like, I'm me.
Yeah. And then it's like, I don't got without even saying nothing because it's like, man, you know, and that's it's hard for me to revert, not revert from, but it's like I'm not trying to forget it. But being from Baltimore, been through war and all that shit, and I talk about it a few times on the podcast here and there, not bleeding our type shit. But it's like, man, I can't. The situation I'm in right now, all the shit I've been through before, you're not gonna. I want to say break me, or you're not gonna do some shit that's gonna make me feel less than. I'm just not gonna let it happen, man. Because I wouldn't do that to nobody else. So when dudes try to do shit or like bro, it's if you look at somebody for more than a couple of seconds, there's a problem. Where I'm from.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. There's that video that says words or phrases that mean you're in trouble, depending on certain cities.
Oh,
the dude said New York. When somebody say you're AOJ, he's hell no.
Yeah.
When you in LA, they what's cracking blood? No.
Yeah.
Bay Area. Hey, cuz, check it out.
Yeah.
No. Like, I ain't checking nothing out.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing cracking blood. You're nothing. Like, I'm cool, but
in Baltimore, I would just say sup. Like, sup. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like it's something. Like I said it. I had to say it a couple times here in Masawa. Far from fucking LA, far from Baltimore. Dude, like black cats, like I'm like, bro, like you know what I mean? All right, we got the same skin color. We're still a minority even here. We're the minority, even in fucking side of Japan. So like there shouldn't be none of that shit, man. Like I mean, where you from is where you from. Because I run into a lot of Chicago cats, and they carry that I'm from Chicago shit. I'm not saying I'm from Baltimore to try to prove a point. I'm just telling you where I'm from. You should probably get the picture that I've been around. I've seen some shit, so I'm not a soft guy. You know what I mean? It's just not that. So when the dude is just looking, and I'm like, and I'm in a fucking thing buying like ink print ink for my printer.
Civilian shit, man.
I'm in there. I'm like, I'm just minding my business, looking for one of those things out there, man. You know how to move and stuff like that. And it's just one of those things that, unfortunately, man, you only learn these types of characteristics and traits being in or close to inner cities, man. You just can't. It's just, and it's not like saying we're not glorifying being, you know, from these areas and around these people, but you just don't get that like in these, you know, I always say Nebraska and shit like that. It's just they got a different type of their thing is like making sure they get rain so their crops grow and shit. You know what I mean? And they got
Word.
town fairs and shit like that. And like people were saying, I was watching some shit the other day, and it was like anytime somebody says I'm from a small town, it means a place with a number of white people there. Like that's generally what that means and everything. And look, man, I'm speaking freely. People out there who know me. I ain't got no. I don't do none of that race shit. I mean, hey man, my top supporters in my company are of all different races and everything, man. So that ain't nothing right there. I'm just talking freely, but it is what it is, man. If you're from Baltimore, you're from Baltimore. If you're from Greenwich, Connecticut, you're from Greenwich, Connecticut. You can't help that and everything, man. But speaking on that, man, we'll go. What you about to say, man?
I was gonna say we got to see something real interesting as far as Alpha to Alpha.
Yeah.
Steve Alpha to Alpha. This weekend was the match that a lot of people don't think should have happened.
Yeah.
A boxing exhibition between an actual tried and true, put in all the work, put in the time, grinded from the dirt to the top, and a popular YouTuber that looks the part, right? So that Logan Paul dude, and then you got Floyd Mayweather. Logan Paul, the internet has their magnetic attraction of draw of people, their followers, their supporters that come to whatever they're doing, whether it be podcast, track and field event, whatever the hell they're doing, their supporters come. So the internet has infiltrated boxing now. And that's just what happened. Floyd Mayweather was actually the downfall of the heavyweights.
Right.
The heavyweights used to be the biggest draw, like the marquee. We wanted to see big ass fucking Goliath dudes pound each other in the face for however many rounds they lasted, knock each other off the feet, knock each other across a ring. But then you had a little 5 foot something, 140, 150 pound Mayweather come in, which is in all intensive purposes a little cat fight. He just bang, 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 hit you and move, and that became the biggest draw in boxing. So I personally think, because I'm a combat sport fanatic, period. But I'm a boxing dude more than anything, because I just remember my grandfather having all the old school boxing matches, and them being on HBO. I remember seeing the big HBO sign and lights and everything from a kid, and then a boxing match. So from an early age, I've always followed boxing because of that. So boxing eventually became stale. Right? It's really nobody's fault. It's just MMA's fault, to be honest. MMA was more exciting. Far more exciting. It's more brutal, right? It's more things that
options,
can happen. Yeah, it's more options. It's more, instead of the guy standing toe to toe, he's going to swing. Is this going to land or is he going to block it? Now it's like, I can fake a swing. Ha, you stupid bitch. Grab your leg, slam you all up across the gate, jump off of the gate. Superman punch.
Look like fucking Vega and shit out there, man.
Yeah, it's too exciting. So boxing had been on a decline. Yeah, the marquee fight still had a draw big money, but it's been on a decline. So now the purists, oh man, these motherfuckers is tarnishing. No, they're not tarnishing boxing. It's unfortunate that the guy that worked his ass off and he's been fighting in boxing never got a chance to fight Mayweather. But what's happening right now is, well, now he could use the internet and look at anybody in the sea of internet influencers or athletes. LeBron James, you's a big old bitch. I'll knock you smooth out. And if LeBron James says, you know what? I'm going to take you up on that. Now you have the biggest fight of your life. The most money you're going to get. That's excitement. So we're looking at a welterweight fighting a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Logan Paul came in and hit the scales at 180, 190. But when he left and ate some ramen noodles and drank some water, hit the ring at about 210.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and you can see it. You know, and that's it was a good lesson for people. Number one, to put in perspective, training 3 years is noble. You know what I mean? It's three more years than I trained in boxing, and he has the basics on down. But it's the basics are cool. But when the lights are on and all those people watching and shit, that what separates
that shit fleets.
What separates because he was just throwing. I mean, he didn't
look like he was button mashing and
that didn't look like that didn't look like 3 years worth of like something that you're proficient at now. Like people, they don't get the katas, if you will, or the shadow boxing, because some people will judge you based on shadow boxing. Now, if you look shitty shadow boxing, you're definitely not.
Like Lamar Odom and that fucking other kid that he's about to fight this weekend.
Yeah.
Christ, that looks bad.
Yeah, I didn't even see that.
Terrible.
Man.
Nick Carter. He's fighting Nick Carter.
Nick Carter, is that the Backstreet guy?
That's their little brother. He's a strung out heroin addict.
Wow. Both of them, or because it's like
Lamar was.
Yeah.
Clean now, but he has so many strokes. If you see his mitt work, his pad work.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
My man's is slow like this.
It was like think about it, bro.
And that's what was crazy. So Logan looked so good in training.
Yeah.
That's has everybody fooled. Now before the fight, you get Logan's gonna do it. He's gonna this. He's gonna that.
Yeah, he had a good confidence about him, man. And that's why I got to give him and his brother like that. If a lot of people out there, man, just had a fraction of that self-belief, man, even when the shit gets hard, because it's like they're already paid, you know, everything else is extra. Everything from Floyd, like you said, Floyd was like, dude, I made millions before I even came in the fucking ring. Like, so
he made 1.5 to agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about the sponsors. He did the little Ethereum thing. You know what I mean?
He's had 30 mil on his short.
Yeah,
he had another. I think it was 1.5 or 2 mil on his OnlyFans hat.
Yeah,
the person that made his outfit. I think they did the Versace setup specifically for. I mean, Doug, he made money accepting, showing, sitting in the locker room,
right,
on his hat, on his outfit.
See, and what that for me, you know, what that does for me, it's two types of people. You could be like, man, how the fuck you doing that? Or me, there's money out there to be had, man. Not hurting nobody, doing what you gotta do, and not you know what I mean, not, you know, one thing I get kind of people hit me, hey man, can you do me a favor? Now I can provide you assistance within my business. A favor is something that you do for free. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what a favor is, man. Like, you know what I mean? And that's one thing where a lot of people, and if Floyd says it, man, like, dude, if you ain't coming with the money, I ain't promoting shit. I ain't doing shit for you until you pay me. And you can't knock a dude for being like that. Like, you get your worth. If you let people walk over you, you're gonna get walked over, and then they're gonna have everything, and you're gonna have nothing. And
here's the thing that is a win-win for the Paul brothers. Okay, they're rocking around with a cocky attitude, right? Even after the fight, Logan was like, "Dog, I hated being a dick to you, man. I look up to you, whatever." But they walk around pre-fight with all these, and I think the Jake brother is more so of that than the Logan brother. But here's what they're doing. The Jake dude gets more response for it that he's saying. But he's saying the right shit.
Yeah.
Dana White, you's a bitch. Why are they not getting paid?
Yeah.
Look how much I'm getting paid.
Hey, man, right there, like he did. It was 2 weeks before that. There was a lot of MMA guys, like, man, because you know Willie.
Yeah, actually, you saw him.
The Willie thing, the Willie thing off.
Fight until we figure this out.
Because the Willie, I just looked on there and said the Willie thing is off. He's fighting somebody else now. So that's fucked because Willie was like set up to get probably his biggest payday in a single event ever. So if they cancel that, because I mean, I'm like, bro, that Willie ain't Askren, man. So yeah, you can say he lost his last fight. He lost his last 4 fights against elite fighters.
The Tyron Woodley thing is what you're talking about?
Yeah, so Willie lost
Tyron's gonna kill him.
Yeah, what they saying? It might be a joke, but they're saying it was off because he realized he's gonna. So he's saying now he's gonna fight somebody else. But anyway, I'll check it out, see if it's real or not. But lost his last 4 fights. Like, yeah, he lost his last 4 fights to elite fighters. You're not.
Yeah.
He didn't lose his last 4 fights to some dude Jimmy at the bar, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people not getting that. Like, even the worst fucking NBA player, the worst NFL player, and not saying worst. I would say the person with the lowest stats, because they're not worse. They're all elite. Everybody who straps up and got the NFL badge on them, a shield or NBA logo or whatever, they're all elite players. They're just not alpha as the other guy or better than the other guy. So the worst guy in all those leagues kills the average guy easily. And that's what you know and respect that, and a lot of people just don't. I'm like, man, you don't have enough sense to see that. Yeah, he lost 4 fights in a row to elite fighters.
To elite guys that'll knock heads off.
You know what I mean?
This dude has knocked some of their heads off.
And recently, within the last 2 years.
Right.
And like people just forget, man.
It looks like it's still good up to 15 hours ago. But
okay.
But so that was the thing that I was speaking on to people that were saying, "Oh, Logan's gonna whoop Mayweather."
Man.
So it's like, pause. So let's think about this, right? So,
bro, 60-year-old Floyd beats Logan.
Old little ass man, right? So here's the thing. I was like, one, Jake pissed him off, right? But that's neither here nor there. But Logan had been training, let's say 3 years, because he did the KSI fight 2 times, up to about 3 years ago. So he's been training a minimum of 3 years at this sport. There are dudes in boxing gyms all around America that have been training for 3 years and still have not broken into pro yet.
Right.
They're sparring fighters. They're sparring partners, and what a lot of people don't understand, sparring partners are very good fighters.
Right.
They haven't their chance to get a pro debut yet, but they will beat ass. But use their bodies to move around. Now, Logan does not possess the killer instinct and talent that some of those dudes have. Even though he's been at it for 3 years, training footage looks pretty good. But when he got in the ring, that same thing doesn't translate. Okay? Now, when you say, oh, well, he has enough power to do this and that to Floyd.
A lot of guys got power.
Hello had that power. Pacquiao had that power. Golden Boy had that power. Oscar De La Hoya had that power. All of these dudes had that power. These are veteran, talented headbusters. They didn't do anything to Floyd. So this 3-year training, big, likable, goofy fucking dude is not going to do anything to Floyd. So I was just like, dude, just that showed me who was the casual fight watcher.
Yeah.
Was the hype beast.
Well, it's because guys will hope. Because, I mean, how many times you watch MMA boxing, whatever, and you do see that.
And you hope a dude.
You see the upset, and upsets do happen, but it's like, man, there has to be a lot of shit that goes wrong and a lot of shit that goes right for that to happen, and that's just not. You got 2 elite fighters. Yes, it's possible on both parts, but you got one.
Well, did you see undercard? Did you see Chad Johnson's fight with the bare knuckle dude?
I seen him get knocked down like towards the end, but I heard he was doing pretty well.
Beating his ass for all 4 rounds. The last 30 seconds, dude swinging the loopers, and he kept. You can ask my wife and kid. I said, "Watch out, because that's gonna get you." I was saying that from the first round because he was throwing these shits, but Ocho was quick enough, and he said himself he'd been boxing training for exercise for the last years or more.
Okay,
so does shit just to do it. Play soccer, all right. So he's a very adaptive type of athlete.
Yeah.
So he looked amazingly good in the ring. You're like, he's bouncing around, his footwork's good. You're like, he's looking like Muhammad Ali. The round starts, they're like, okay, ding, 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 fight. Pow! He instantly hits dude crazy fast. He's like cracking dude shit. Now, if we're scoring, dude couldn't hit him. He wasn't hitting him. Chad Johnson was beating his ass 3 solid rounds. 4th round, start the same thing. Ding, fight. Pow! Because he started doing that after like the 2nd round, going in the 3rd round. As soon as the bell rings, crack dude. It's like he wasn't ready yet. He had the controller down on the ground. And it's amazing. Dude start getting desperate and starts chasing Chad around the ring. Chasing him. And then when he's chasing him and Chad got to the point where he's like, I'm about to crack this dude. And he stopped and he went to do something and dude swung this fucking Hail Mary. Head was down like this and he swung. Bink! Internet age. You only need one of those.
Yep.
Chad Johnson stumbling all over the place.
And that's what people, they put that part of the fight up there. So it looked like if you paint the narrative, that was the whole fight. And they said, I watched a few other podcasts and he was like, dude, he was looking great until that
He was
point.
Looking like a fighter, bro.
I gotta check it out.
Like a fucking fighter.
I'm gonna throw it on when I roll down to get on the highway here in a second.
It's 4 rounds, 3 minutes each. Chad Johnson was beating dude's ass. And even still, he may have got that knockdown. He did not win. Right. Let's say boxing, right? You get a knockdown, that's 10, it's your round. It does not matter what Chad Johnson did before that. So Chad Johnson got 3 rounds, he got 1.
Right.
If it's going to scoring,
right. So yeah.
Still a Chad Johnson win.
Yeah.
He beat dude's ass. Now, when you look at, because everybody is, Logan Paul, he lasted 8 rounds, he won. Nope. It was a typical Floyd Mayweather fight. What Floyd did, I think what his plan was, because it was personal, what dude little brother did, he wanted to beat the shit out of him and hurt him on the later end. So, first round, what does Floyd do? Everybody knows. Floyd don't do shit because he don't watch tapes of fighters. He sees what they do in the ring. First round, I'm not doing shit. I'm not throwing no punches. I'm just going to let you come at me and see how you handle that. Second round, I'm going to come at you. I'm still not going to throw no punches. See how you handle it. But Floyd ended up starting to mix it up and he cracked him with a couple of them.
Right.
And so then you saw, oh shit, he's got some power. So that's what Logan got to experience. Like, oh, this little tiny motherfucker can hit hard. Right? 3rd round, Logan's tired.
Oh man, hanging on the ropes. I watched somebody was streaming it on YouTube, before they cut it off. So
they
it
were
was like, if I get cut off, go to the Discord. And it's like, but I seen that part. I'm like, man, it's the 3rd round, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't.
3rd round.
You can't. It's one of those things, man. And it's like, I've been an athlete myself, playing a D1 football and everything. I've been many times in that position where you train to that exhaustion point because you don't want to be exhausted during the game. So you get all that shit out of the way. People don't realize, man, the dudes that you be seeing in tip top shape, they be dying in fucking training to push over what they have to maintain under the lights with the cameras going and a million people watching you.
But then another thing, Logan being such a big individual, like, look at your arms. Hold your arms up, right?
Which one
How much energy and blood does it take to move that arm, those arms, multiple times? Swinging it is something that you're not.
Your shit burns. Like I do free, like right here, man, right here in this socket, be on fucking fire, dude. Just holding them up. Just holding them up.
Right, not hitting something that's connecting where you're like, boom, you only exerted this much energy, but you exerted this energy and recoiled it because you missed.
Right.
And you did that. He did that 200 times or 100. It was hella missed swings, bro. And he's a long dude with long reach. That was a lot of, and that's the shit that Floyd's looking at. If you looked at in the corner when Logan's like, oh, I'm tired, they had the camera so that you could see Floyd, and Floyd is back there standing grinning.
Yeah, he was
Floyd, looking at him.
Another 20 rounds easy.
About to die.
Yeah.
And that was Floyd's plan. But what happened was when Floyd started really moving in on him and cracking him with some shit.
Yeah.
And remember, Floyd's really little, so this up high, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I can only get a couple of those. Bow!
Yeah, count. He went. I heard he went to the body. I didn't watch the later rounds. Yeah.
You'll hear in his corner, they said, keep cracking his head. He's about to fall. Floyd said, it's too hard to hit up there.
Yeah.
He said,
straight up
trying. He said, but it's just too hard to hit
Yeah,
him.
you're reaching, dude.
I can't hit there. So then
Yeah.
he changed to the body and started wearing his shit out. Then it was just the grapple, the clamp, the holds, the hugging, that's a 210-pound man.
And they don't matter, and that's where the skill, right? And that's where the skill people can see, like, how the fuck is this? I'm like, bro, Floyd is Floyd, right? But weight classes are there for a reason. Floyd gets knocked out in 15 seconds with Mike today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So let's just say he was a proficient fighter.
Yeah.
Let's say he's Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's short, so the height difference wouldn't have been that crazy.
Right.
Dude, a fucking 200-pound Mike Tyson versus 150-pound Floyd.
He knocks him through the ropes.
God, yeah, dog.
Like, he fucking folds through the ropes and shit like this and shit.
Yeah, like Logan's like crazy, right?
Right.
Mike doesn't end. He comes in, he's a brawler, so his boxing style is like this, right? This is what you're getting, and that's a boom! God damn. You know what I'm saying? Like a bulky man he hitting high RPMs.
Yeah.
Boom! No, and that would have been a dangerous fight. This tall, lanky, goofy boy versus that wasn't dangerous to Floyd.
Nah,
So
man,
Floyd,
he knew. Floyd's smart, man. Like you say, he says
but the problem with his plan, though, like you were saying, this willpower that these Pauls have. Floyd hits him, and it's been controversy. He knocked him out.
When he held him up.
It looks like that, but there's also other times that he cracked him and he stumbled back, and you can tell he wasn't all there, but Floyd didn't attack. Where Floyd could have attacked, he noticed that he's veteran enough to say, this nigga hurt and I'm going to kill him right now. But he didn't. He extended it. He wanted him to get all the pleasure and pain of all these rounds, and then he wanted to take him out when he wanted to. But Logan's willpower to not go out after he felt that, and you know how it is when you get looped and you're like, oh shit, I really got my shit split. Then it's survival. I ain't going down. I ain't going down. You know. So now I'm a clinch forever. And you saw Floyd got so pissed at the clinching, he pushed his neck over the ropes, and he's looking like, this motherfucker won't stop hugging me. And like dude, Logan's stretched and then he's getting pushed. Floyd's pushing him hella hard, so he couldn't like come back from it. So then he just starts going, because Floyd is like, I'm sick of this. He thwarted my plans. I know Floyd's thinking like, he thwarted my plans. I want to knock this big motherfucker out, but he keeps laying on me. He's clamming up like crazy every time. Now Floyd's on the aggressive, which was dangerous if you think about it, because that big dude in the clinch. The only problem is he knows if he opens up, Floyd's hitting him. But if he took the risk to get one, he's got a lot coming, in on dude. So, but Floyd was really quick. There was a lot of left hand jabs that Logan was throwing, and Floyd's coming with a hook up and over and crashing his ass. So you got to see an exact Floyd fight. We wanted the knockout. We wanted it. Everybody as a boxing fan, we know we wanted that knockout, but it didn't happen. We just got a regular Floyd fight, which is like, all right, that's what happened. If it went to scoring, he landed more, he threw less, he got hit less. Logan threw a ton and only landed like 14 of this, 30 of that. And those lands weren't like fully clean. So it's like Logan couldn't win. It was an impossible thing. People listening to fucking tall head Jake Paul, my brothers win. No. When Floyd didn't throw any punches first round, second round, because he was trying to see what Logan did chasing him and what Logan did running from him. Those are the first 2 rounds because he didn't throw any punches. That's it. Round 1, round 2. That's the only thing you could score to Logan. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all Floyd.
Yeah.
And, casual boxing fans or new YouTube we'll call them subscribers or people coming to watch, they don't know boxing. They just know what looks tight. So that point in time where Logan is just swinging to the moon, swinging,
Yeah,
button mash.
I seen that. I'm like, dude,
That's
that's like no,
boring.
that's no. I mean, you even see it'll be times when a top level boxers are kind of resort when it's like, man, we're in the fucking phone booth, we throwing, and you'll see that. You'll see that for a second, but even in that fury, they'll fucking regain their training. They'll regain posture, and it's still a higher level of like, yeah, man, it's wild.
It looks funny. It looks like a wrestler.
Yeah.
It looks like a wrestler throwing those rally body blows where they're just trying to because it's almost to the point where he was hammer fisting.
Yeah.
He was just going like this. And crazy. The untrained eye is like, he's scored, he's dominating him. No.
Floyd's like this the whole time.
Yeah.
Floyd's like, okay.
Nothing's hitting, nothing's landing. You wasted your energy. And I'm looking at you like, are you done, motherfucker? Like, let's fight, So, but what has happened? It's already confirmed. Over 1 million pay-per-views. This was Showtime. They dropped it from their $100 fights to a $50 fight.
Fuck, man.
Dude, they made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And Logan made a lot of money. And as Jake is talking to everybody, the confidence that he has, I'm making money. You come fight me, I'm going to get you paid.
Right.
You're going to be the most paid you've ever been. And that's not a lie.
Yeah, I mean, because you got a guy, the dude Mike Perry, was like, dude, okay, my contract's done later, man. Like, it's not even, like, it's not, he was like, I'm going to fight Jake. It's like, it's kind of like you see with Conor, because Conor's like 2 more fights. I mean, it's funny how fast you go from being, and it's a life thing, man, and you can see it right in front of your eyes. John Jones, he's undefeated and all this stuff. I mean, other than the one loss to Matt Helman by the disqualification, but it's been almost 2 years since he's fought, and he's like, he don't want to fight Ngannou for whatever reason. He wants more money, and that's his right to do that. And it's like he's like this guy, but then like John problem, for the guys who don't know, he had a lot of issues outside of the octagon.
Yeah, right.
So it's like he just changed management and different things. So if his shit outside of the octagon wasn't as bad as it was, it would be a different tool. But Dana White is like, dude, we're not giving you $30 million, and we don't know if you're gonna fucking be here next week. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and we talking about a guy who's a champion for over 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's like that shouldn't even be a thing. But it's like
shouldn't be. Yeah,
it's crazy. People don't, boxing is boxing, and what people say too, boxing is all these different promotions. Yep. They don't have the overhead that UFC. The UFC got to get the arena. They got to pay for the medical. They got a lot of overhead, right? So we're saying, they're not getting paid a lot, but you got to take into effect how much are they getting paid. Add every fight up on one card, pay out, plus pay all the staff, plus pay all that. That's a lot of money, man. So it's, UFC is rocking, but they ain't got that. There's levels.
And that's how they're clearing this with these YouTubers. YouTubers are saying, we're coming to do boxing, bro.
Right.
You come on.
So you said over 1 million, right? So,
dog, there's estimates that Floyd has cleared 300 from this.
Right, from an exhibition.
Estimates, from an exhibition. And Floyd said, bruh, this is a legal bank robbery. It's a heist.
Yeah, because I mean, just if you're looking at 1 million times 50. I mean, I shouldn't have to add it up, but I'm not good with math. But
right, that's just
but that's five. Right? That's 50 million right there, right?
Yeah, that's just pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's 50 million, and then you're not talking about again like that shit. Again, people who don't understand. The pay-per-view buys is pay-per-view, right? And that's why you're talking about UFC is a big thing. They're not getting all the fighters part of the points is what they call it. So what Floyd saying is like there's nothing saying that you can't when you're advertising like I say the OnlyFans, the Ethereum shirt, that's money that you're getting before you throw a single punch.
Before you even got physical.
Right. So you
the second it shows up on your ring walk.
Right.
that money's account.
Right. So
your
the guys don't understand. That's why UFC had a big thing. And we speak UFC. UFC is a part of MMA. It's just the number is the top one, and everybody else under is trying to catch up. Right. One is doing their thing. Bellator is okay, whatever. But UFC is where you want to get. If you win a Bellator championship, all right, cool. You're not D1GP. You're
right.
Lone Star Drift.
You're right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real. And it's one of those things where people don't understand, man. That you know what I mean. The money is just, you can leave the thing, and Dana's just so that he's like, John can leave, this guy can leave, Paulo Costa don't want to fight because he's saying 30 he's saying 350,000 as a joke, and this is all from fucking Jake Paul, man. Jake Paul.
That's what I'm saying.
Jake Paul, a YouTuber, has just got got the whole UFC roster. The whole UFC roster is like, wait, fucking Askren made 50, whatever.
Askren made bread.
Yeah.
And he was sitting on the fucking couch.
Yeah.
Hip replacement or whatever surgery he had.
He made over $1 million.
And he even said, he made clear over $1 million.
Yeah.
But he even said, I didn't even take training seriously.
Nah.
Oh, it showed, but he made
Snoop said like a bag of milk. So
so it's like off front, Floyd was gonna make 100 $100 million from pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Logan gonna make 250 from pay-per-view. This was before the numbers came in. Okay. There's other deals because boxing is a business and a science. The science is the fighting. The business is everything around it. Floyd does other deals, quite a few deals before to get some other things. Floyd, I guarantee, had other sideways, underhand things, bets going on.
Yep.
Because he's a Vegas guy. What does Vegas do? Vegas wages odds. He made money off of his clothing. He made money off of just appearing. He made money off of accepting. He made money for being there. He made money, like he said, just your shorts. Can you imagine wearing a pair of shorts to an event? Just gives you $30 million.
Yeah. Man, this shit right there again, man, because I'm in a business, man, and that's one of those things where, like, dudes, I had a guy 2 weeks ago. The motherfucker, like, he was looking at me crazy because he was short 1 cent, and I'm like, I need that, dude.
I need it.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, the thing is this is like, it was like something 601, and I'm like, nah, dude, I need you. Like, you got an extra? I got change right here. And I'm like, bro, if you go to 7-Eleven, if you go to Lawson's, if you go to like any place, if you ain't got that 5 cent, you ain't leaving that store. If you leave the store, it's you're stealing.
Yeah, you can't just tell them I ain't got it. You can take that.
I'm like, nah, I'm like, nah, dude, that 1 cent, like that. It seems like, nah, man, you good for. You got all these cars outside. Like, nah, that's number one. That's a power move that you're trying to inflict on me.
For one, that's exactly.
And I look at him like, yeah, you got that 1 cent. Oh, I'm like, nah, it ain't cool. I need the 1 cent.
Go find it.
Yeah.
Go walk.
I guarantee you that shit's under your, I guarantee it's in your seat. Guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit like that. And it's like, bro, like, again, I'm pretty sure you help people in your lifetime. I've helped people recently. I don't even need to post about what I do and stuff like that because that's not like I'm giving food to the poor. Like, I really have to really record that shit. You know what I mean? Are you doing it?
Oh, God.
I hate that shit. I hate that shit, man.
Do it, motherfucker. Don't be like, hold on.
Yeah. And I'm
hungry.
Right. Yeah, and I'm saying this because and this is what I do because I've had to swallow my pride a few times, man, in the process of running this business, and it made me feel less than. But it was like people like, nah, dude, that's what America owes zillions of dollars. So don't feel like bad because you got to borrow $2K for 2 weeks and then pay it right back to a dude. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get that way too.
Right.
And I'd be like, I fucking need it, yo.
Yeah, and I'm talking about like this is not more so 3 years ago when our business was first starting. I was miscalculating things and I'm like, fuck, man. I the dude's like, I'm good. If you need help, and I'm like, hey, man, 2:00 in the morning. Hey, man, are you good for that too? Yeah, man, it's whatever. I'll wire it over and I paid him right back, and we're good. Business is still moving because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have made rent. And
I know how that goes.
You know what I'm saying?
I swear to God, I know how that goes.
But
I mean, luckily for me, I've always been a working man as a kid. Like when I was 15, 16, I never asked anything of my father. But
right,
after I was an adult, and I've been getting these crazy bills, crazy things that be happening.
yeah,
And nowadays, and my pop's always, "You good? You need anything?" "Nah, I'm good, pop." Even when I needed that
oh
shit,
yeah,
yo, "Nah, I'm good, pop." He's like, "All right, cool." And then I'd be over, "What's up, man? You all right?" And I'd be like, "Man, these motherfucking taxes," or "Oh man, it's the damn property taxes," or some, "Man, what is it? What is it?" Then I'd be to myself, I don't want to tell him because he's gonna give it to me,
yeah,
but I know for sure I need this shit.
right.
And be like, "Yo, it's this." "All right, cool. I'm gonna go to the bank. I'm gonna get it for you real quick." And it's just like sometimes you got to
But
put that pride
yeah,
down.
man, and right there though, even with your dad, man, like never met him, no know him and everything, but it's just like the fact that you didn't outright ask for it though. That's what
Hmm.
people don't. That's the silver lining. Like when you even when like a dude. I mean, so many examples, man. When the other day, man, I bought the bike for my guy, right? Paid him in full for bike and everything. I was like, and he wasn't even tripping for the money. I was like, no, I want to get you good,
Yeah.
make your wife happy and shit, whatever. And also, I just sold some spare parts. I had spare cash or whatever on my own shit,
Hmm.
right? So he was like, hey man, you need a drill press? I was like, how much you want for it? You can have it. The fact that I didn't say, yeah, let me get it. I was like, how much you want
Yeah.
for it? I
Yup.
offered, and I would have paid. I would have gave him money for it because it was a brand new drill press with a
Yep.
laser focus alignment that he didn't use much, and
Hmm.
it got a fucking handle in to go up to 11,000 RPMs. You can fucking vary that shit. So it's a nice fucking press. And
Hmm.
I was like, how much you want for it? Nah, man, you cool. You can take it. Cause
Yeah.
I welded up a bike ramp for him, dirt bike ramp that broke the rungs off of it. Like 3 of them snapped off. So
And you just
aluminum
out.
welded it up. I'm like, dude, that's
Mm.
nothing. It's a few zaps.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
And that's how that shit works,
yeah.
bro. Because like when I wanted to get the suspension and slap it on the street RX-8,
Mm,
I could do it here at the house,
right.
no problem. But as we get older,
Yeah, your back hurts.
we get a little bit more fuller.
Yeah. I
Dog,
know.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
doing this on the jack on the ground,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I'm good. So the homie, I'm like, "Yo, I was gonna leave the car and let him do it, but he's like, "Oh, I got time. Let's do it right now." So I say, "Okay, cool." When I showed up, the idea was he was gonna do it, but he was talking, and I was like, "I want to get this done." So I just put it on the lift, boom, boom, wham, wham. By the time he's done talking, the coilover's done. We're setting ride height. "Oh, can you do this real quick to make some clearance for my steering angle?" "All right, cool, boom, it's down. Check it, go drive around." I'm like, "All right, cool, I'm done. What do I owe you?" And he like, "Shit, you did everything."
Yeah. Yeah.
I said,
Yeah, but
"Yeah, but
the fact
no."
that you offered that shit though.
Yeah, I'm like, "You donated the space and the." He like, "Nah, you got it." He's like, That's cool. I mean, you did everything, so you good." I'm like, "All right, cool." Because yeah, if I had just been like,
I'm out later,
put the
man.
car down and be like, "All right, yo, all
That would have
right."
he would have that's when that and then, dude, that's that people don't realize, man. It's that it's and even I mean, I've been in a situation where if I respond, I know the outcome was what it's going to be, but
Yeah,
I got to respond that way because I got to let it be known that you're not going to do that. You're not going
right.
to and I it,
Setting a
it
precedence.
happens to me weekly. I mean, it's a weekly thing, so
Mhm.
I'm not even getting to those stories. I talk about customers too much, and I'm not knocking my customers. Some are good, some are
Mhm.
got issues, man. But anyway, it's like you asked the dude, you respected the guy, you respected his space, and that's what you got rewarded with. Just
Yeah.
a simple gesture of not trying to bitch the dude and make him
No.
put him in a position where actually, man, go ahead and give me fucking $200 for my lift time. Or
And it's literally because anytime I've asked him to do something, and always shit pops up in a short notice. "Yo, can you?" "Yeah, I can." And I'd be like, "Cool." So he's got me at like when we did the TV show. "I need a cage. I need this. I need that."
mm,
"All right, bring it by." "Okay, cool. Boom." And they were floating some money. So even though this didn't cost this, "Hey, can you do it? I got you." then he's hitting me up because they're bullshitting with the money. Because at first we're under the impression this was gonna be fully paid for.
Right.
Then they started getting iffy. Production get weird like that.
Got you.
They, like, hey yo, if this is coming out of your pocket, give me this. If this is coming out of their pocket, give me this.
Right.
I said, well, it's coming out my shit right now, so here's this right now. Boom, boom, boom. I take care of you. If these motherfuckers do this and that, I'm gonna bring you some bread. He's like, all right, cool. So it's just like, of course I'm gonna offer to pay because he's always helping me in a bind, always. And it's like, I know I don't have my original like guy that I have to help me out, Justin, that built this car, which is my preferred fabricator, because he's like so precise. Motherfucker's like a scientist. But I know this guy is very good. My other boy up here, he's very good. So I'm going to certainly utilize my friends that are very good in what they do, and still like, yo, I can hook you up with this, or like, shit, these guys are getting RX-8s now over here, right? All my homeboys is, oh yeah, boom, all right, here, I got some coilovers for you. It's just, it's whatever, give me $1 or $2. Coilovers here, front bumper for this. This is R3. It's our Spirit R model. Here, I'm wide body and shit now. I don't need this bumper. Take it for a couple.
Because you helped me out getting this shot in my fucking face.
Yeah, right. I'm just passing it off to everybody, and I'm like, so then my other homeboy, the guy that has a shop, he's like, man, I'm thinking about getting an RX-8. I'm like, okay, well, only thing I can offer you is setup knowledge on it, because I know that's going to be more valuable to you. You got a shop, you got some money coming in. That's getting parts for the low ain't really a big deal. But here's how to make this car efficient on setup, what it requires to drive it, good, properly. Let's do that. I can offer that kind of stuff. And that's the way that I think it works. The people that are worthy of it, you make sure if it's not a lot, you do offer something.
Right.
Yeah,
it's just, and the thing about it, man, it's like your relationship is built up upon that and everything, and it's the guys that come in who ain't done nothing for you, probably never speak up for you when people were talking shit about you, and they be wanting the most, and like, and what sucks too, I had a recent thing, man, somebody that right, that comes kind of back into your life years later, I'm military, prior military, so this happens a bunch to me more so than regular people. Because I've been here for 14 years in Japan, right? So guys leave and military happens. Some guys come right back. They get orders right back. And I had, it was one way when they were here. And most of the times I was a military guy drifting. So I was working for somebody. Now you meet me as an international business owner, different vibe. Same person, but the shit you're trying to pull. And I had to tell one guy, I'm like, look, man, because he kept trying to be. I'm like, look, I don't do hangout stuff, man. I'm not that shop, and he ain't been back since, and it's been 2 weeks. And he hit me up with nothing, so I don't know if he took that the wrong way, but I'm like, dude, he was like, hey man, I can just come and hang out and shoot the shit. I'm like, dude, I'm running. Like if a day like yesterday, that's not happening, and I don't want to even get you in that mode of thinking that's cool to just drop in and talk, because I'm like, yeah, I can multitask, but I don't really like doing that. And also this is not a hangout spot, and also you're a car guy, so you're going to need stuff, and I'm going to charge you accordingly. So that's just not going to happen. And people, they just, he knew me as this person, and some people refuse to acknowledge where you're at right now, which is well above where you was before. And it's just, and people, I'm just quick to correct motherfuckers, man, when they be like, guys to my face.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, I'm wondering if y'all can do this. I'm like, you talking to, it's me. There's no y'all. Yeah. I got an assistant, but he does assistant stuff. You know what I mean? He knows that and understands. I'm not talking down about my guy. He's the RX-7 dude with the brown RX-7 with the air suspension on it. But he does his thing. He knows what the role is. I need him for here. He's taken care of. He's good. It's none of your business. But Dave's like, but what is he? I'm like, dang, none of your fucking business what he does for me. That's none of your business.
Yeah.
Like
I put him in position.
I'm like, man, I shouldn't have to tell other grown people this. Like, dude, I don't care about you and what your wife is doing, as long as your health is good and that's all cool. But it's like, man, that's not my concern. And you just came back into my life 5 years later, 6 years later. Come on, bro. Like, if you're staying the same, same, you know what I mean? No modification in your character a little bit. Me, I got kids now, so totally different.
It's gonna be different, yeah.
Totally different. Like, all that shit, later, dude. I got to make this money to feed my family and do what I got to do. Like, you're trying to waste my time. I can't let that happen, man. So, and people just they take offense to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man.
It's dudes that I see, it's like they'll be around for a while and then they go away and then they come back and in our lifetimes, like I was telling this kid the other day, like I said, I answer all DMs and I'm telling him, hey, man, you got to enjoy yourself while you're young.
Right.
Because you're only young, quote unquote, for 18 years. You're an adult way longer in your life than you're a kid, right? So when I knew people as kids, maybe 20, 21, and then I'm doing all of this through my 20s and this way in my 30s, that's 16 years ago.
Man. That's
Now, we may be, oh, you're still doing this, or you still doing that.
Yeah, my bad about that. I want to correct. At the core, you're still you.
But, you're still you, but then it's like, oh, that's still the same car you had? And then they have some friends, oh, man, me and him, we had the same back in the boom, 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 boom. That's the same car. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, man, you kept driving, man. Man, me and him, we used to be, man, this like, and that. And they act like we on the same level.
Al Bundy and shit, man, back in Polk High.
No, we're not at the same level.
We're not, dude.
Because I'm very different in that aspect. I do a lot of shit up here, right? And we could go do whatever to explain or to show you, or even they look over there in the corner and be, Dad, you been in magazines? Yeah, that was it. Dad, you won events? Yeah, that was back in.
Yeah, it was back there. I don't know. If motherfucker carry a trophy around and go get some drinks at the Wawa and shit like, I won it 6 years ago.
I've been doing exactly. I've been doing this shit for a long time, and that wall is dedicated to the vibes from this time frame to this time frame. And I'm like, but you see how much time you missed that I was doing something?
What was you doing?
Yeah, we may have been doing all this. This is how we met and everything.
Hey, man, fuck that, man. I don't feel sorry about that shit. I don't feel
I know. I don't
man,
either.
Dudes be trying to, like, put that shit, oh, man, this, like, bro, we got, again, I'm reverting back to just yesterday, man. Yesterday, it was a straight grind from fucking 4 in the morning until, like, 4, like, pretty much 12 straight hours of this going.
Getting
12
busy,
straight hours to get all that shit out so that way I can get on the road again right after we get off here. I got to get on the road to do what I got to do and fulfill the other shit I got to take care of to get, to better relationships and all that stuff like that, right? So it's like the dude, like, and I'm going to bring the last guy I'm talking about, man, no names needed, but it's like the dude, like in the last 5 years, life has just kind of been like kicking his ass military-wise where he's getting out. And it's just like, one of those people who come around you and shit, and you got your own shit and your own problems or whatever going on, and it is like this fucking negative, dude. Like, man, this, and this, and blah, 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 and everything. Like, your life is just fucked. Seeming to me. And it's like, bro, like, just deal with it. You know what I mean? You talking to me. I mean, other than venting, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of use this as a thing to kind of talk in there because I stay to myself. But other than venting, which is cool, I'm not saying ball it up and don't talk, but like, is there any actions behind what you're bitching about, or you just bitching?
Right? Have you done something to make that different?
No. And I know I can answer that for him. No.
Yeah.
No, you just.
There's like this one dude that always calls me about shit, drama, issues, advice. What you think I should do?
It gets tiring, man.
I sit and take all this time and maybe explain and think out a ton of things for him. It's like, why am I wasting my brain power on this? Because he ain't going to do nothing different. And he don't do nothing different. And then he'll call you for hella long and call you in a month. What's up, man? What's cracking, man? How you doing? Oh, man. And then he starts referencing the same shit that I gave him solutions for a month ago. Then it'd be like, now it's to the point, motherfucker call, I don't even hit end. I just let it ring.
Yeah, and unfortunately, man, that is not that you want to do that, but that he's played himself into that position. And it's like, You know what I mean? Like we mentioned a couple podcasts ago, man. That red will humble you. Like, cool. You know what I mean? Depending on what we talk about. Now with
Yeah.
somebody, I'm gonna make this clear, man. It ain't people like, oh, nobody's better than people. Blah, blah, blah. There's levels to different things in different communities in different areas. Obviously, if
Mhm.
I hit, for example, I about 4 months ago, I hit up. I hit up. Went on to JR's site. Went to the actual professional, the avenues of contacting somebody by email, propose what I want, clear subject title, clear everything. This is me, blah blah blah. Not embellishing myself, but I'm a pro driver in Japan. All right, cool, blah blah blah. No response. Okay, cool. I'm not on that radar. Move on. You know what I'm saying? But if I hit up a dude who I know I'm higher than, and he's like just like playing it off and shit, it's like, bro, I'm trying to bring you the fuck up. You know what I mean? JR don't need me to bring him up. I just want to talk to him or whatever. And and I'm pretty sure we'll cross paths. But the thing is, like, he's on a level where he's at, where he's got all these people trying to get him for different shit, and he don't know who's genuine and who's. And I know it's the same thing for you. After this TV show shit comes out, it's gonna be a bunch of motherfuckers come back like, hey man, you remember when we was, in home whatever, man, like, nah, dude, we ain't talking 13 fucking years. Now you see my face. Now you think I'm a fucking trillionaire.
Perceptions, everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, but it's interesting. Like, only because I got a close reference of it.
Right.
I can see it. My homeboy. Let's just say he's got 270,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Right.
60,000 followers, 70, 80,000 on IG on his networks. His DMs at that level, which a lot would consider low level, his DMs and messages are constant. So overwhelming.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to handle it. I might get 13 to 17 DMs a day.
Right.
And some of them, maybe 4 or 5, depending on what their content is, turn into conversations throughout the day. So I might come to see 20 DMs, but it's only specific people. But dude, I couldn't imagine having millions of followers and trying to, like, hold up, let me see who I'm gonna respond to type shit.
Right.
I guess that comes with being popular or being in that position. I just don't know. I try to be good to everybody at this moment, and
right.
Like I always say, we joke about it. Ain't no telling how it'll go, but yeah, when the TV show comes up, who knows how it'll go, right? But because
it don't always yield,
right.
Like, because a lot of guys from, like I said, we were talking about the hyperdrive, where it was. And
congrats to Aaron Parker.
Yeah.
He won his Formula D Pro 2 or Pro Spec endorsements from Pro-Am. And I know it was a big controversy, and he was one of the biggest proponents of the Pro Spec and Pro Series, or I guess we'll just talk Pro Specs. Pro Spec of their transmission thing. And he had a dog box already for because building a drift car is your lead, your road to where you think you're going to be the most efficient. And he built his car in that manner. So when the rules changed for the transmission, I know now he's got his car posted for sale because he wants to proceed in Pro Spec, but his car has a dog box transmission. And to revert his car to something else is going to cost him a certain amount of money, and to just build something
is FD?
FD.
Okay.
And to just build something different will probably cost him this much amount of money. He himself knows what he's working with, so he did the number crunching, said I'll sell the car for this much, and I'll start to go to this.
We got to talk, because I think I messaged Aaron before for sure. I can't remember if it was on.
He's a very busy guy.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, we could reach out and talk to him. But again, congratulations to him, because So he did the hyperdrive. He does a lot of extra stuff in like television, music videos, things like that. But his goal and why he was so passionate about the transmission change, a lot of people, and I always speak from devil's advocate just to have the discussion with people, even if I don't believe that, but I don't let you know where I stand on certain things.
Mm.
I just will say something that's maybe on the other side of the fence just to start the conversation, and if it can be had intelligently, it continues. And then maybe if you say, well, oh yeah, no, I don't believe that's how it should be. I'm just talking from the other side of the fence. But anyway, um, Hyperdrive did its thing, right? His goal was always to be Formula D driver. He finally achieved that. So no matter how long it's taken him, none of that matters. The point is a goal that was set. He stayed focused on it, and he just achieved that 2 weekends ago.
Okay.
So whatever he does to move forward is still a step towards the goal that he achieved, but he is now achieved and acquired the endorsement to go to Pro 2. And does enough driving. He has enough relationships in the industry. I think he can put together something pretty good, and then it'll just be getting the drive time and everything. But I was saying all that in relation to the hyperdrive. There are other drivers from other series that have the same ambitions that were on hyperdrive.
Yep.
They have not achieved that yet, but they are way more popular than what Aaron got from his hyperdrive appearance.
Right, because it was one of those. I felt I didn't know him, but it was like, man, that it didn't line up for that time frame when he was there. It was one of those things.
That's
where
all that it
if
was.
it was next week, it would have been a different story. It was just right then and there. It wasn't performing, and I knew that from a builder, a racer aspect, but the average Joe, oh man, that dude sucks. Like, nah, bro. They don't know.
But now look, in his case and my case, right? You know, we've talked about what my experience was on that TV show. What I understood to be certain things, and one thing was my understanding of it. Aaron may have understood certain things and thought of an approach that would work for him, and it didn't work out.
Right.
But saw in editing, that wasn't exciting, or does that guy this or that? I know personally, because I've driven with Aaron in real life. I've watched him drive in real life. I know a lot of what he's capable of.
Right.
Not all that he's capable
I didn't judge nobody on that, to be
honest.
Right,
no. But a lot of the world did.
Right.
A lot of people did judge Aaron like that. And then their go team for the other guy. But the other guy has Aaron. Okay, so yeah, now we really got to get Aaron on, because I want him to the evolution of his car. Aaron has always constantly, quietly done evolution, modification, changes, setups, process. He's got his car and his setup down to a science. He works on his car, everything, wiring, all of the things. All of his Instagram story is purely car maintenance and setup. That's what he does. He has not been enthralled in trying to be a celebrity, even though he may or may not be more popular than most. But when other people are just solely trying to be celebrity, have a different outcome, and it's very. So, like me myself, I'm super down to earth, super chill. Depending on whichever way this experience goes with the other thing, I am still me, right? and I'm still going to be me because I'm old enough to be set in my ways. Nothing can change me. I don't give a fuck if somehow I got millions of dollars. I don't give a shit if Mazda said, yo, you've been representing us like crazy. You don't complain about this, that, and the third. You've been moving along I mean, if it was Ferrari requires you to own this car, that car, this many cars before you can own this car.
Right.
I mean, I have so many fucking Mazdas. Like, I only literally have just 4 now, but I've had 9 or 12. I've first gen RX-7s, multiple second gens, Mazda 323s, 626s, even 929s. I've had hella fucking Mazdas.
Hey, you got the MPV van?
Rare car. No, I want one. I want an MPV to put it on meshy. To put it on meshy.
Shit
like how y'all got K cars, y'all got K vans.
Yeah.
I want an MPV to be mobbing and that was the old school shit in New York and Staten Island and all. They would roll around MPVs and the Nissan Nautica vans and like that. That was, that's the old school vibe. But if Mazda just one day said, yo, my man, we've been watching you do your thing. It's all Mazdas on you. Here goes a little bit of some money and this and that. That still couldn't change me.
Right.
I still would. No, I'm the fucking Mazda man. No, because I know for sure that for one, I have a lot of directed specific help for my cars. And I can't be nowhere without the help that I've already got, right? So, again, there can never be it's all me situation coming from me. Because I know I'm humble enough to say let's just say I got a bag of money dumped in my lap. If I can hit Justin and Justin doesn't have the time, okay, cool. I hit another guy that I know, hey, I need you to help me achieve this goal. We need to build this, that. I got your compensation for your time. I got some money for you. Let's do something epic, right? It's a down-to-earth process. It wouldn't be, yo, I need you to come work for me.
Yeah, people do that shit, man.
That, just the wording. Same goal, but it's just that wording. I need you to come work for me. Versus, I just got an opportunity that I would like your help with.
Man, so easy to be like, nope. And people hit you up, and I'm pretty sure I know it happened to you. People hit you up, and the way they open,
that sets the tone.
The way they open, hey man, blah blah, this, and then or like I'm looking to do bit like the dudes will get straight to it, and even with sometimes they don't work out. Cause that guy hit me up the other day, and he's like, I'm in Canada, I want to do this, and this, and I replied, this is my thing, blah blah blah. Mark scene. That means I was more organized than he thought, and it's not going to be an easy thing. And they do that all the time. I show them the link. They see the process is well thought out. They can't do no fuckboy shit. So those guys never email back. The ones that are, when they see that and they see the process and everything, all right, I'm ready to go. I got this much, blah, blah, blah. Let me know where to send to, and I get that too. So it's just like, but at the same time, man, the way you start, and when you start, for me, as a business thing, if it's us personal and we talking, it's different. But if it's and I'm talking about me and you, and that's honestly everybody's on different levels, and that's how the world works. But if a dude that I don't fucking know hits me up, hey man, need a favor, or can I pick your brain? Like, nah, I don't fucking know you, dude. And I'm not, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but like I gotta have something invested in you to give you my time to take away from my business, and that man,
you would be so surprised,
man,
to see people I've never spoken to before just jump in my DMs.
Like,
yo, give me the
you owe them
sauce. Yeah, give me the sauce on your FC setup. What this was that?
What?
No.
Yeah. Now they delete
what?
it. I don't even, because I like what Instagram does now when they give you you gotta accept
accept,
that's the
delete,
best shit,
block.
man. Because that don't even like archive or delete. It's just
And I'll tell
if I check it.
Yeah, but I'll tell them because I answer it. I look at all of it. I'll tell them no. And they're like, oh, damn. Then they try to sauce you over. Oh, I look up to you. I've been following you for hella years. That's cool.
Yeah, man.
But no. I've had people more popular than you trying to ask me for a setup. But the point is, they might have an access and a route to ask the person that gave me the knowledge for it, and they either didn't ask him, or that person told them no as well. And what am I doing is I'm texting that person, yo, did so and so ask you? Yeah, I told him,
motherfuckers are dumb as shit, dude.
Cool. And then like, it's like, yo, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, you know the internet's worldwide, right? It ain't just me and you. So
right.
like, I'm like, bro, I can peep game. Like, motherfuckers are so they're situational awareness. They post shit on their timeline, don't realize they posted it, and then they, you know, or some people know because they do that back wall. Like, you know, if you got a problem with somebody and you know they're on your friend list.
Oh yeah, you hiding it from that person.
Yo, like if you got a problem, talk to that person directly, man. I wish some motherfuckers who wrote R1s weren't dickheads. Like,
yeah,
I know Lex got an R1, Earl got an R1, Josh got an R1. There's like 6 dudes on my buddy list that got an R1. Who I'm talking about? I can just fucking tag you. And
well, I'm not talking about you.
Yeah, well, who the fuck is 6 of us? That's one down. There's 5 people. Like that's uncalled for, man. And people do that shit. That's that beta Charlie shit right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's just like Aaron has been a very humble guy.
Yeah, and that's why.
And I'm not hung out with him enough to gauge if he's different in other elements, but from what I've experienced and the conversations that we've had, either in person or on the phone, very down to earth person, very humble guy. And
I mean, you can see. I mean, I very good at reading people, man. Just the way the story they showed, like him doing a teaching thing and the sibling deal and everything and all that stuff, man. Is like, you know what I mean? That builds a different kind of character that you just don't get if it's just all about you all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, growing up, man, you know, I didn't realize, you know, in those situations we've been in, man, you know, my wife don't understand. All right, bro, it wasn't the house that we were in that didn't have 13, 14 kids in it. It was what it was. You know, in my particular family, kids, you know, your aunt was on drugs, so all 3 of the sons were there, real life. My mom watching them, taking care of them, and they grew up and they act like they ain't fucking. You're breathing today because we was feeding you and shit. Now you can't. Yep. Now you can't. You're disrespecting my mom and you're doing that, and I find out about it, and I want to slap you in the fucking face when I see you.
God, I got cut. That's why I took it so hard. My brother died.
Yeah.
Because I don't fuck with none of my other cousins.
Yeah.
We grew up all together, all on the same floor, playing Nintendo, coming over my house, eating all my motherfucking food and cereals and everything, because your mama left you over there.
Right.
And then we got older. You had the nerve to talk bad about my father?
Yeah. That's why you same. Man, I got cut, man,
right.
Bro. I know it's real because I was ready to. I was in town to do some shit when I went back to the States. Covert, this real shit. My brother who always, you know, he had an identity problem growing up, but you know what I mean, the dude really felt like he's running his own clothing store business, doing good. You know what I'm saying? I had to talk to him, he had some rough edges. Like, get a bank, open a bank account, don't put all that fucking. I'm gonna stop right there. I want to put the information out there, but it's like we would drive up to New York, right? And we just talking, catching up. We ain't talking like 10 years in person. And he told me these stories. He's like, man, you know, he was doing this. And he called mom and threatened to kidnap. I'm like, what? I'm like, you joking, right? Nah, this motherfucker showed me the thing.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have no money, and these same cousins, right, grew up with us, right? Because they were almost at our house once a year because some shit was going on. We took care of them, fed them, bathed them. I didn't. My mom did. Fed them and all that shit, right? These motherfuckers get older, and now they see my brothers grinding and making money, and then now they just sitting back, like we said before. Floyd getting money. There's 2 guys, the haters and the ones that know there's money out there to be had. They was the haters. So they talking about they gonna kidnap my mom and hold her for ransom. And I'm like, bro, he's serious about this shit. And I'm like, dude, where the fuck is he at? Oh, he's in North Carolina. I'm like, it's good he's in North Carolina, man. Because if he was in Baltimore after we came back from New York, we wouldn't go see his ass and say, man, what the fuck's up with this? You saying you gonna kidnap my fucking mother and hold her for ransom because you ain't got no money? I'm like,
but remember, it's been like that since forever.
Yeah,
remember paid
fucking
full.
family,
remember
dude. Oh yeah, the fucking uncle.
Paid in full. Yeah,
that's real fucking life, bro.
Desperation.
That shit hit home, man.
Yeah,
that's man.
Yeah. When I see shit like that, I'll be like, ooh, man, because I've had uncles like that.
Real fucking life, man.
Cousins like that, and I was like, shit.
Yeah. The thing is, when I watched that movie, man, coming from where I'm from, I peeped before that scenario even happened because I didn't know
Saw the
it was,
energy was.
Yeah, I didn't know that was real.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a
I
real
knew it was.
story.
I knew it was real.
No, that was,
right.
yeah.
I knew it was. I know Rich and all those guys, and I know of them, and Alpo and all those guys, and his YouTube. You can go deep on that shit. The whole Alpo story and how he just no remorse for what he did or whatever, and yeah, man, the dude just like the energy the uncle was giving him, like you could tell that motherfucker was setting up to do something grimy. Like, oh man, you paid now. You can't kick your uncle some dollars or whatever. I'm just paraphrasing. Oh, you can't kick, like that motherfucker is just building that animosity. Lazy motherfucker.
Well, like I know I've had my shit isn't that malicious, but I've had when I first had my son, my aunt pulled by my house, dropped off one of my cousins, and I'm like, yo, my son's in the house. You want to see him? Oh no, I ain't got time.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Yo.
Wait.
Newborn.
I could just go grab this little newborn baby, the newest member of our family, to say, hey, here's my son, which I'm very happy about. You dropping off your punk ass son to my house.
Yeah.
For however long. I can't just show you. Fine. She's never seen him.
No ever. Shit.
My other family members, my aunt that I'm actually close with, cool with, I tell my dad, don't give her no pictures because they don't know what my daughter look like. They don't know what my son look like.
That's
that whole side of my family, fuck off.
Yeah.
But it
people think that's what I mean. People like it's a fucked up thing. It's a fucked up thing, man, that I talk to you more than I talk to some of my family members. Yeah. And people like, and my mom kind of was like, you treat your friends better than your like, and I'm like, at the time growing up, like she would make me feel better, but I'm like, dude, there's a fucking reason why I treat that dude better than this dude who's blood. But blood don't fucking mean that you gel. It's like you're a person and your characteristics are fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That aunt, I ain't got time. I don't want to see my newborn. Like the fuck, what?
What? Yo, I think I don't know if I even tried to keep my face from distorting at her.
Yeah.
I think I might have mugged her like,
get
bitch,
the fuck
what?
out. Yeah, man. That's
like,
man, hey,
and
man,
I'm looking at my cousin like, just drop this nigga off at my house. Bro,
that's some real shit, man. There's one more I don't want to beat because we can go all day. Everybody got family problems, but I remember being in college, right? Only reason I didn't starve because I was banging one chick and she was at the time, I didn't know why she had so many meal points. She had meal points because while I was banging her, she still was with some other dude, whatever. She was staying with him on the weekends, and that came out later on and shit. But she was doing her thing with me. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You're not my girlfriend and everything. And we became tighter.
I'm surviving.
Yeah, I'm surviving. She gave me her meal card, so I was for like 2 weeks in college. I was eating. I had some popcorn, some fucking sweet kernel popcorn, and fucking water for 2 weeks. That's all. I mean, I didn't ask nobody for shit because I'm like, nah, man. I'll make it happen. And then one day, man, she was like, man, why you? I noticed you ain't coming to the chow hall or whatever, the dining facility. I'm like, dude, I ain't got no fucking points. She's like, oh, here's my card, because the card you just scan the card. They don't check your name. And I had no points because I was playing football and I ran out of points. And I didn't have, and I'm like, I'm on the phone, fucking, grown dude, college age. Well, I was older. I was like 23, 22. And I'm like, man, can I borrow like $20 and shit, right? And she's like, I ain't got it. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm like, could you ask aunt whatever it is, this and this? Yeah, I asked them, they ain't got it. I'm like, oh, really? Like, all right, cool. Years go past, years. I ain't talked to these motherfuckers in years. So now I got a business, right? Number one, they still think I'm in the military. I ain't been in the military since 2012.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? They don't even know I'm not in the half of my family don't even know I'm not in Maryland, and I ain't been there for fucking 14 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just the ones that follow me on social media know. And then like when I get, and they be like, oh, it must be nice. I'm like, yeah, it's nice as fuck. Actually, I replied that exact thing to somebody. I'm like, yeah, it's nice as shit. Actually, it's nice as shit. It must be nice. Yeah, motherfucker, I worked. Your bitch ass ain't had $20 to give my mother when she was giving you money. I know for sure. And I was in school starving, and she just wanted $20 and she ain't got it to give to her fucking firstborn son. And I'm like, I'm working hard to make shit happen for us. You're gonna be good. You're good. My brothers are good. Everybody else, fuck them.
Yep.
that's family, dude.
How we've operated over here. It's been me, my brother, and my dad. Trio. That's it,
Yep.
yo. I don't care about nothing else. And then it came long and short because, I was working for the railroad. I was making so much damn money.
Yeah.
One of my uncles, and this is how I knew. At first, I was like, is these niggas hating?
Yeah.
This is how I knew they was hating.
Family, man.
Because my uncle pulled up one day. He had some Benz, and I'm a car dude. That low model Benz don't impress me. You talking about how fast it is? I'm like, that ain't fast. And he like, oh, it's faster than. And my dad laughed and said, no, that is fast. He's pointing at my RX-7 or something. And then I was like, shit, don't even worry about that. At the time, I had a Mazda Speed 6. I was like, that'll clean your shit up. And then he's, whoa. I said, bro, it's nothing. We can go get on the freeway right now. I'll clean you up. You'll see that Benz ain't shit. And this punk-ass, cheap-ass Mazda that you call it, which still, at that point, was 57 grand, and that Benz was like 30 grand. But who cares, right? Then he got to hating. Oh, you only got this stuff because your dad helped you. And my dad started laughing because literally I've never asked nothing from my father. I may have just gotten a grand or two from him maybe this year.
That's fucking sad, man.
And my dad started laughing and said, oh, no, you got this fucked up. He was like, he said, if there's anything I know my son gonna do is work and get this money, But then we both looked at each other like,
that's fucked up, man.
Is this nigga hating?
Yeah.
And I'm your nephew.
Yeah.
I'm your youngest nephew, man. I was like, oh man, these niggas crazy.
That's why people ask me, man, why I don't go back. I'm like, man, I don't. I keep myself. I'm one, like we talked about before, man. I keep myself with situations where I know it's not favorable for me to keep my cool. Because it's like it don't take much to. It could be cool and cordial. But say some dumb shit or this blatant disrespect and not having decency for another human, I'm not gonna let that shit pass, man. I'm not a turn of the cheek guy. I'm not that. That's not me. And I'm not gonna. And it's like be respectful, man, and you get respected back, but act accordingly, and you don't get that fucking energy back. Because I know for sure in this situation you're acting out because you never been slapped in the face. I've been punched in the face before. I've been punched in the face before for saying some shit that I shouldn't have said to somebody who was more capable than me, more about it than I was, everything. Being from Baltimore, everybody from Baltimore ain't a fucking hardcore gangster. Let's make that clear, because there's a bunch of clowns and they go other places and become bigger dudes because they're from Baltimore. I don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was considered a bitch because I didn't hang on the corners. I played sports. I went home. I didn't go to the clubs. I didn't do nothing. I stayed to myself. I fucking built computers and I street race. That's what I did. I never sold or held fucking drugs in my life. I've been around it.
Yeah.
I've been around it, but that wasn't me, and I'm not portraying to be that. But at the same time, it's like, people just get on that thing where, I don't know, man. This shit, we going on some other shit right now, man. But, yeah, man. But it went for fucking bikes.
But humbleness.
Yeah.
Humbleness get you places. Portraying different things.
Yeah. It don't. With this shit, man. The second you, that's why I think I do well in this shit by myself, because I keep it 110% with all my customers. Hey, is shit gonna be ready to pick up? No, it ain't, because you got this XYZ. I wasn't accounting for that. Yesterday I had a dude, nice ass suspension, but they did a swap. They welded this downpipe. You got your frame rail and the downpipe. It could go like a little bit below it. His whole fucking downpipe was pointing frame rail, downpipe pointing below like this. So the car was now hitting shit that it normally wouldn't hit, and the height was good. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, look, man, I gotta raise this shit back up because the downpipe's fucked. I don't have the time and the material right now to fix this pipe, so we gotta do this. All right, cool, done.
Right. Simple temporary fix.
Straight to the fucking, because I'm like, all right, I gotta undo the work that you just paid me for to make your car drivable, because right now it ain't good. The military got these big speed bumps that go on and off the base. So I was like, man, and I told him straight up, this is what it is. He's like, all right, cool. But if you hit him with some bullshit and be like, hey, man, this and this and blah, 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 then now you're creating that bullshit. And that's why, I my customers, man, to the point, blunt. And I try to be cordial and nice, but when they ain't understanding, then it ain't no fluff in it. It ain't no fluff at all. It's like, hey, shit's gonna be done on Friday at this time. You can't be there at this time. You're gonna wait till Monday. Because you're like, hey man, can I come? What's the latest I can come pick it up? The latest is when I close, and I hit them with that. And or if I extend, it's because I want to extend. So I'm not extending because you're asking me to extend my hours. I extend because I want to extend. So it sucks that you got to do that, man. And I don't want to. And sometimes I'll be at the shop and I'll tell the guy, no, I'm not at the shop. Just to move.
Oh yeah,
just to because they were like, hey man, I'm coming at 1300. Nah, actually you're not. I'm actually at the shop, but the fact that you're telling me, like we said before, if you ask me, there's a difference. Yeah, man, I'm actually here. But if you're like, hey man, I'm gonna be there at 1301. No, I'm not here. I'm not gonna be here till next week. See you next week. Just because you tried to fucking assert your dominance on me, and I'm like, you don't do that. You don't have. You can be.
I work for you,
right. You can be an alpha. You could be a dominant person, but you don't have to do that to people, man. And I don't do that to guys, man. I mean, how many times I hit you up for the podcast? Hey, Lex, I'm about to shoot now, man. Mic up and get ready. You'd be like, what the fuck? Who the fuck?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I would never do that. But, you know.
Hey, what you think about this?
Yeah.
Can we? Yep.
There's people out there that do that shit, man. And you see a lot of celebrities. I told you, man, I stopped following. Like, there was 5 podcasts I stopped listening to straight cold turkey because they really revealed what I thought. But it really came true that they were like that. And I'm like, nah, son, because if I met you in real life, I'll keep moving.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that, they show that.
They show it.
Then,
you kind of think about it, but you're like, then you see it.
Yeah, I hate bullies. I hate people that talk really weird to people. And even if it's online, if I see somebody being a dick, like this one dude. So this one dude, he works for a certain person.
Right.
And so I follow him. He says a lot of crazy, stupid shit. But just the other day, he said something mad fucking dumb. Talking about how he was gonna crash into people and do this shit and that shit. Because of this shit, I'm gonna speed up when you try to get over and rear end you, and when I rear end you, I'm gonna stay floored so I can spin you out and this and that and whatever, and I hope you die from it and all this other shit.
That dude had a bad day.
And I'm like, a lot of shit I don't respond to, I don't care to, but this is. And I hate these types of drivers, these type of people. I could be in my work van. The gap is huge. I'll hit my blinker, and then I go to move over. And a motherfucker will try to speed up so that I can't do it. But I'm coming, so I get over so that they can't, and then they ride and tailgate me. Or they will, I'll get on the freeway, and I put my blinker on, and I'm trying to get over, and here they come, and they're blocking me. And it's just a combination of what he said and what I've experienced. I hate people like you, right? But I'm not going to say I hate you because I am familiar with you and we've experienced each other in person. But hey, idiot, because you posted that you want to do that and you're going to do that, if in case you do get in this scenario in real life, you've posted this on social media. When they investigate you for doing that, if the person died, you've now created a premeditated situation. You have a good vacation, sir. So it's just like, for one, don't be a dick. Don't be a bully. Don't be, at least not in my line of sight. I don't like it in person. I address it in person. I don't like it online. I address it online. And I'm the same exact way online as in person. Whatever. And it's just, I don't be for the bullshit, and I be chilling, but keep the vibes right because then I just have to. You know what I'm saying? I can't just let it go.
Yeah, you get. It's just people don't. They get energy, man. Energy matching, energy that you give out. That's very vital, man. And like I said before, that's why I don't go certain places because I'm not gonna go somewhere and be annoyed and waste my time, fuel, and all that stuff, man. I don't fuck with these. I know who's gonna be there. I don't fuck with that person. I know I'm gonna see that person, and I have no problem with confrontation, but they're gonna go over there in the fucking corner, 50 yards from me, and just look at me and shit, and just point and shit. I'm like, and I walk over there, hey man, everything good? So I know what I'm gonna do if I go there. So I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna not go there. I'm just gonna, and I'm not. And if it's something that I'm gonna do, whatever I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna let a person keep me from going to an event. And I'm talking about that, and what I'm talking about more so is car show shit, because I get invited to a bunch of car. That's just not my jam, dude. I'm just not. I'm not knocking car. I got a lot of car show buddies that only do car shows. They don't race. They don't do nothing. They spend a lot of money on their cars.
I do too, and that's so apparent lately.
I just don't. Yeah, I just not my thing, man. I'm an active action. Let's put that shit on the track and see if your group of parts are better than my group of parts and my driving skills. That's all it is.
There's this dude in my area that people always tag me and mention. When I'm doing something completely different.
Yeah.
Just the cars visually kind of represent the same thing. But me as a driver, I drive mine very hard.
Very hard.
Person does car shows. That's all he does. But he makes videos doing donuts on the rev limiter, no throttle control at all. But that's it. That's all that they're gonna do. Then if I'm doing something, they want to tag him on my shit. Then when he's doing something, they tag me. Don't tag me on this. We don't do the same thing, man. And if somebody says, "Oh man, your car's free," but you think it can? I don't think it can do nothing that his car does. I don't think it could hold it. It doesn't make as much power. It don't look as cool, and it don't park as well. Like, don't compare.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, maybe. I don't know him, but what I do know of him is we're a different breed, man.
Right, and that shit right there, like you said, that's another YouTuber, that word is kind of like weird. Jake Paul and Logan Paul YouTubers. YouTuber to me is somebody that makes a ton of money, and that's all they do. We just post. Me and you are dudes that post on YouTube. We're not. You know what I mean?
That's yeah.
That's what that is. People don't understand it, and they're so directly in the camera. There's a bunch of fucking YouTubers in Japan who, like I talked about before, and you can fucking name who you want. I ain't gotta name them, but it's like they want to bid for the number one gaijin. I'm like, dude, I told the guy before, I'm like, bro, you're culture vulturing, like Mara and not Mara, but Wayne and all them said they want to capture the culture and shit. Capture it, and that's what they're doing. So you're in Japan, and your channel is not about you per se. It's about what you're doing in Japan and what you're, not even what you're doing in Japan, is what you're capturing in Japan. And then you put that out there, and a guy in Tennessee who will never go to Japan in his life is a subscriber because he wants to see that. You're a people outs. And all of us have subscribers. Somebody else is invested into watching our shit. They like it for whatever reason. The count number is what it is, but it's like dudes are trying to over here. They're trying to bid for that number one spot. Who's the best YouTuber in Japan? I'm like, dude, you're on YouTube, right? I got a fucking car shop, and I'm the only American in Japan, and you don't fucking support. Fuck you. So when I see you, and when I come down to your area and make a video, and you be like, and that happened before. Hey man, you were down here. You hit me up. I gotta fucking check in with you. Fuck out of here, man. Like who the fuck are you? Like both of us are gaijins.
Yeah, there's one dude I watch. I always
crazy, man.
I always thought he was from Japan. That motherfucker from Canada.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That shit's wild, man. Because when you see again, having met you in person, we're going to meet for sure. It's like you can tell motherfuckers who, like, everybody that they're just is an act. And when you see them in person, it's weird as fuck, man. It's a weird vibe. And they don't know what to do with their hands and shit. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, man. Hey, I was gonna message you back, like, dude, 3 years ago. Fuck out of here. Like, you weren't gonna message you back. You know what I'm saying? When I see him, is that they already know what they did wrong, because I'm trying to build and shit. I'm trying to build, and they trying to be like, nah, man, you can't. Nah, man, you can't. I got 20K, 40K subs. Nah, man, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Oh my God, you just reminded me.
I can't help you. Let go to speak on it, man.
We're gonna end it, but
yeah.
Go And I'm gonna call his name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak on his name because this guy, I never realized he had an ego like this. Go look up Spike Chin.
Spike Chin.
Spike in the last couple of days has been dumbing the fuck out on social media. I have this much. Go look at my this.
That shit, man, that's pathetic, dude.
Got to the point. My son, because all of the people that he follow been posting about this guy's a fucking clown. Woo, woo. So my son, a 13-year-old that is a drift enthusiast, hardcore, went to the guy's page, sees what's going on. He's looking through the comments, sees guys that he likes or that he's familiar with in the comments. They may have said something that he agrees with, and he liked the comment. Turns out this egotistical motherfucker's going through blocking people that like comments that are against him. And so he blocked the 13-year-old that don't got nothing to do with the mix of what's.
That's that beta shit right there.
But,
you know, that's that Charlie.
So
that's that Delta shit right there, man.
So my son tells me, "Oh, hey, this and that." So I go on Instagram and I just look, and then as I look, I see a lot of my friends posting about it. So I'm like, "Damn, what's up with Blood?" I have not interacted with him. I've been in the same place with him, but I'm the type that I don't know you, and we haven't had a reason to interact. As you're walking, I'm not gonna say, "Hey, what's up? I'm Lex.
Yeah.
I know of you." I don't give a shit.
Just keep it moving.
You go, I go, right? So I've never had a reason to look into him or at him or whatever. I don't follow him, nothing. So I went on there and I was like, damn. So what I personally do is if there's something that you're being called out on, I'll scroll hella far down, years down your timeline, click on it and see if I can spot that in your character. I'm like, oh yeah, this motherfucker been like that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that and seeing what he's doing. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker like that. He's like that, that.
It's that notoriety, the money and all that stuff. Like people say, like, you know, the money. It kind of, yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah, if it's already done and it's there. It's like it's the point that you got to bring that up, and which is like that right there. And I have not saying a prayer. I have did it. And it wasn't. It was kind of like in a conversational way. And
but
it's
you
like,
gotta hear this dude, yo. You gotta hear.
Yeah, now I wouldn't. Yeah, probably seem like
this. You'll hear it and be like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah,
Because it's like bad. It's boasty boy.
Yeah,
and if you don't have my skill, then you can't talk to me. Get your shit together.
Wow.
It's like,
wow.
I would want to beat you up.
Yeah. No, man. See, that's the thing, man. That's the thing with, you know, some people, some of my buddies, man, you know, people who I had conversations with, and it's like these fucking, you know, these likes and subscribes really define motherfuckers' lives. I'm like, bro, that shit is arbitrary. It's arbitrary. I told one guy like this because we got into it, and he kind of was like trying to say, well, man, you ain't working real hard on your channel because you only got 67,000, 69,000 subscribers, right? I'm like, hey, how much money did you make with your 300K, right? How much money did you make? This is just between me and him. I was like, how much money you make this last month with your 300K subscribers, right? And he's like, oh, I made this much. I was like, well, I made this much more than you, triple that with 6,000. Why is that? It's because my channel is there. I'm not making money from YouTube, but what I do posting there gets me money. Believe it or not. So they don't understand that you could have 1 million subscribers and you're just a bland person. You kind of got hot and then you change. Like we kind of mentioned Brap a little bit, where you know he's going up and everything, and then he changed the cars because of legal issues. His subscribers don't get it, and then when Brap goes back to Philly and Boogie wants him to ride, Brap is trying to change his shit a little bit, and I seen it, and I kind of felt bad for him because what I seen when Brap went there, I seen Brap elevating, and I seen everybody stand stagnant, and that's what I seen in the video. If you I watch the analytics,
and you saw he's changed to something different. He's evolved.
Right, he's evolved, and everybody else. And I hate, and not saying Boogie himself, but the guys around, they just kind of they're stuck in it.
I think Boogie put up a video today about what he does to get money.
Right.
So I'm gonna look at that to see, but from the visuals of it,
just the energy. The energy is right.
That the third, and everybody is familiar and comfortable.
Right. Yeah, because Brap didn't want. I could do. He was holding back. He was holding back, man, because he was like trying to keep the shit bubbly and spice. He was trying to bring the energy that he wanted to see, and it wasn't when they came and had to sit down. And even like I say, I'm from Baltimore. You know, the dude who was the tightest motherfucker with you will stab you in the back type shit. Yeah. And I seen that shit. I seen that shit when you go over to do your house and they like got that vibe like, all right, we cool, but later night you dying. And he don't know it, but they know it. And I haven't committed anything, but I've seen shit where I'm out of here, man. I gotta go do something for Aunt Peggy, man. I'm gone because I know some shit gotta go down.
A dead homeboy whose homeboy shot him in the stomach with a shotgun.
Yeah, man.
I have a dead nephew whose homeboy and his friend got into a fight and shot him in the head. I have homies that it can go on and on, but all of them got killed by people they
close,
know.
Yeah. Just like rape. Rape most of the time. Rape is a close.
It's from a homie.
Is a close proximity. You get comfortable with it. You feel. You get that friend zone. Some people, friend zone, and some people like, nah, man, I'm taking that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what kind of psychotic, egotistical motherfucker is that too? That's what's crazy too, dog.
Man, saying that what you just told me, man, is like, I know it's out there, but now that I got kids, man, and my sons, I'm like, and we can't be with them all 24 hours a day. It's like, man, I'm like, man, it's just some shit like that. And my kids are half breed, so they're already going to be like hated on because they're not full Japanese. In those situations, man, where you got, you know what I mean, I'm just, man, I can't think about that shit, man, because that's just.
I've told Jalen, I was cutting his hair here.
It's making me mad, man.
Yeah, I ended up my vlog with that. I was talking with Jalen, and he's asking this, that. And so I gave a real uncut, raw, little look into my and my son's relationship. And I tell him shit straight up. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm this because of that. I've had you do this because of that. I have my daughter doing this because of that. And it's like
you went to the store with him because that you told me he went to go shopping on the bike. You could be like, all right, man, go ahead. And that dude, he was stealing shit. Like, nah, man, he just trying to get shit for his father and family.
Yeah. Dude, at graduation today, I put my arm around him. I'm like, man, good job. And the kid's nervous. His heart is beating hella fast. Dog, all you doing is accepting your diploma and taking a picture with your family. But he's just naturally a nervous little kid. So imagine him going into the store to buy something, to buy stuff, but he's not thinking of carrying all the drinks in this hand, grabbing the chips for his sister in this hand, and then his snacks in this hand.
Right.
He's thinking, I got a pocket. I intend to buy this stuff, but I'm going to put it here to hold it, and then this here to hold it. And I'm taking long because I'm actually really an indecisive person. And then the store owner, motherfucker stealing, blam.
Yeah, man.
Shoots I will blow the whole store up with everybody in it. You know what I mean? And this is like, those are the kind of, but I'd be like, nope.
It's intuition. That's some good intuition right there on that shit, man.
Yeah, I'm going to go in here. And then I pop in, what's up? But they don't know he's just a nervous little kid. He's a little nervous dude, right? Like, I'm cutting his hair, and he's like, oh, yeah. It's crazy, huh? Both of your kids are into cars and bikes. And then he was like, but Nicole's more into motorcycles. I said, I'm doing that on purpose. He said, what you mean? I said, I'm making her bike crazy at this age on purpose. He's like, why? I said, we are around cars. You can't come in here to wash your clothes without being around car. You get in a car every day. You see millions of cars on the road every day. Cars are something that are so second nature that you just get into comfortably.
Yeah.
You go to bed and everything. Cars are there. I say she's always going to be around cars. If I never put her on a motorcycle and she 13 or 14, and then I'd be like, come on, Nicole, let's go ride the motorcycle. No, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Now she's a little bit and woohoo, riding his shit.
She called me
about this motorcycle. Explain to me what this does and what that does. Tell me all about it. Take me riding on it. This is a 3-year-old baby. She's going to absolutely love everything about it. And guess what? We got cars too.
Yeah.
She's in all race cars. But it's just I'm getting her broken in on the bike. She will never have a fear of a motorcycle. People see me ride all crazy. Oh my God. Ah. My wife's mother, everybody, oh, he had a death wish. And then my boy asked my wife, like, do you ever get scared at how he rides? She's like, nope. Because I know he's fully equipped to get back home. And even when shit happens, I've seen him come falling through the door bloody and fucked up. But the point is, that bike is fucked up. He's fucked up, but he got to the house. So I never worry about him coming home. He's coming home. She said, sometimes I get nervous when I look at, now that iPhones are around, I get nervous when I look at his phone and his location's been stuck in the same place for hella long, but that's because I don't have reception. Then I send him a text, and I might not get an answer back, and I'd be like, okay. But then, boom, a text comes back, and I see his location's moved. It's like, oh, okay, he was just chilling. Or I'd be like, no, I was in the mountain running back and forth. There's no reception there. She'd be like, oh, okay, it makes sense. But it's just like, my daughter's never going to have that fear of this equipment. She's going to ride this equipment so that she knows. It's like a kid grows up in the wild. If they grow up in the wild around dingoes and hyenas, which are vicious animals, but they grew up around them. They pet them. They push them away when they're annoyed with them. They don't have the fear of them.
Right. That's what I was telling my guy the other day. It's like that on it. It's like we were talking about F1. He's like, man, well, that's Lewis Hamilton and all these guys. Like, if you look back at all those guys, they got one thing in common. They didn't just start when they were 16. They started when they were running shifter carts, like some of them before 10, some of them before 5, right at 5. And, and I like to make shit relatable and real. Like I'm telling you, like I'm a 250-pound dude, pro level driver, and that fucking 125, 135 out there got me fucking shook.
Little Durban.
And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And like, but at the same time, it's like when I'm trying to ride that bitch, right? I stalled it, right? Then I was like, man, fuck this shit. And then I took off because I just like I got into my drift mind, like I spun out, whatever. All right, clutch kick right back into it. I did that shit and it worked. And I was just thinking about it too hard, and I kept stalling because it was like, fucking like I did that shit like 10 times. Fucking flooded the engine. Had to go take the plug out, clear the engine out. But I mean, because I got the mechanic. See, if I didn't have the mechanical side, I'd be like, all right, man, I can't start my bike. What do? I call the guy I bought it from? Nah, I know it's flooded. It's spark fuel. Right. Pull the plug out. Plug wet as fuck. Put some fucking air in that bitch. Put a new plug in it. Start right up. Start right up. This bitch a half a kick. This compression is like start right up. Let's just start right up. This motherfucker, like this freshly built engine, hits everything, man. So it's like that mindset, but it's like, I mean, I'm not being cocky in this statement, but it's like I know I'm gonna progress because I want to do it. Number one, Number two, I got you and other dudes in my corner who are badass riders. Can't disappoint. Can't disappoint.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
So
it's like, So I'm like, that take right off and shit. And the dude's like, oh man, I'm like, yeah, man, because it's like, man, like, come on, man, I'm like being a bitch now. But then when that bitch take off and I hit him, like, all right, I'm a bitch. Let me. It's like,
but it's like what I told my son.
Yeah.
Get nervous and stall a car.
Yeah.
The simple thing taking off, but you've done this millions of times before.
Yeah.
So now let's not even worry about stopping. Let's not even worry about stopping no more. Let's just start drifting. But he's going to, as he's getting used to what I wanted him to do, go down here, pick up speed, second gear, hit that shit, make this corner, make a transition, keep it going and come all the way back. Now, he may spin in that situation, but he remembered to push the clutch in, the engine stayed running. Guess what he got to do that he's been doing? Stalling, right? Well, now that's not what's making him nervous. He's thinking about the drifting, and the motherfucker's taking off perfectly every time he comes up. Then it's like, hey, little dickhead, guess what you haven't been doing? What? Stalling, asshole. See how easy it is when you don't think about it?
Yeah,
but when you think about it,
and that's why 14 times straight. I'm like,
Yeah.
let me that shit. 14. I counted because I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I was getting fucking mad, and then I had a dealership dudes. They were watching me and shit. Kind of started like giggling and shit, and like I guess they could figure out that I just got the shit. But I'm like, but the difference is me going out there and failing 14 times over and over, and the ones that I'm like, man, I can't fuck this, I can't do that.
Right.
And like, nah,
no give up.
Don't get like just touch it. Like my thing is I want to touch the bike because I'm new to it, and I got the time to do it. And I just picked up I just actually bought a $500 minivan that I'm going to gut out. It fits 3 bikes in there. So
Legit.
I ain't got no excuse not to get it down to the beach. All I gotta do is throw the bike in the back, go to the beach, ride that bitch, come back, and do what I gotta do, man. So it's like I want to get good at it and proficient at it for my own reasons because no reason why is content.
You're gonna make me look up an MPV, and yes, content.
It's content because I'm gonna throw the bike in there, so that's gonna bring a whole demographic of people who would never come to my channel because now I got CR 125 in the title. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So now it's bringing a whole demographic. So, and yeah, man, it's like the car shit is what it is, but you gotta, and that, props to Brap, but he's doing it on a bigger, because he's like, he's in the P1 and MP, the McLarens and the.
Audi R8 and shit.
Yeah, the Audi and then he's but he's doing what because I watch it and it's like
living a young life because he's
right,
a really young
right.
dude.
But even with both of those channels combined, they all get in the Hellcats. It's like they get in the cars that me and you necessarily wouldn't get if we had the expendable cash. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
And that's across the board. Dudes who, I hate to say this, man, most people who own Ferraris and MP1s and all that stuff, it's more of a status symbol. It's not really. Right. Let me correct myself live. Some of those guys are car people. They just they're car.
Some of them
they're car. Mm-hmm. So we can't group all those guys. That guy that has a GT3 or whatever into the group of all the guys that don't have money. But 98% of them are not car guys. If that makes sense.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They got the money.
There's dudes that are not car guys, but there is a certain amount of attention that gets them in their spare time. They have spare time. It brings more awareness and stuff. And they could be real estate dudes, and they just have this car to go to Cars and Coffees and pick up potential clients.
Mm.
There could be dudes that are really just egotistical, and they just like the dude attention. Then there could be dudes that are car guys, but they're not car guys like us. Because I know there's a dude that he's 100% car guy that I follow.
Right.
But the motherfucker can't change a tire.
Yeah. He have his girlfriend change the wiper for him and shit.
Yeah, but he's 100% a car guy. But there's different levels to it. There's different levels to how it is and what it's going to be. But it's just, there's many ways to experience this game. This car game is very different, but because there's so many options.
My wife was hitting me up, man.
But because there are so many options to experience this car game, there's so many avenues imposters can jump in.
Yeah.
So because I'm not fully into it, but this group of dudes likes cars this way, I'm gonna jump over here and then say, "Hey, dog, I've been down on this kind of shit," because the car scene for car shows and hangouts is super fucking popular. There's, dude. I mean, think about it this way. Now the photographer has always been important, but the photographer nowadays sometimes has more clout than the actual car.
DJ to the artist.
Right.
Yeah.
And then because that became popular on Instagram, then the car meets started to be overran by people just to film this and upload to IG faster than that guy standing 50 feet from him did to get the same picture of the car to get their Instagram clout. Or follow me, I'm the premier car meets page. What do you drive, dog? fucking Ford Explorer from '93.
The number 9 bus.
Yeah, but they are dictating a car culture or a car flavor for the shit that they post and telling you what's up, and then they're respect me. My Instagram page has.
Man, that's the thing, man.
Fuck you.
Yeah, this is a fine line that a lot of people don't know how to play. For me, it's strictly promotional. If I do a giveaway or some shit, I'm like, all right, man, I'm not gonna be like, man, I'm giving this shit away. Like, subscribe, share, whatever, blah blah blah. I'll choose you. If you don't, cool, whatever. Because I'm about to do a bunch of stuff to promote my parts, because a lot of people don't understand giveaways entice people to buy shit. Fuck that. I don't want it. I'm too good to wait for a chance. I'll go and buy it. So that's the trick right there. So let me put that real for people when you give away shit. You want to get sales. Somebody's gonna be a lucky winner, and then they may or may not use the part that they win. So the for example, I'm about to do S13 suspension, but if the dude who wins it drives a fucking Z28 Camaro, what the fuck's he gonna do with it?
What is he gonna do with it? Yeah,
he's gonna sell it or whatever. So it don't necessarily, So what that is people, man, they need to learn how to move with this shit. The social media, internet stuff ain't going nowhere, and you gotta learn how to make it work for you. And it shit's changed. We always talk about it because it is what it is and stuff, man. We talked about
current.
Again, you got a YouTuber and the Paul brothers again, man, who just make more money than a lot of other badass boxers. Yeah,
FD LZ came in the FD, shook it up. Paul brothers in the fight and shook it up.
Yeah,
if they direct it to something and have, I guess, enough skill to be formidable. He's not the equivalent of the Paul brothers boxing. LZ is talented. He's in enough work. I don't even remember when I started watching LZ, maybe 2014, 15. And now he's finally in Formula D. But he put in 6-7 years straight of this shit. Because I started watching him for the drifting. I don't give a shit about BMX. Biking's cool, but I started watching him because of his car content. So he's been drifting since I started watching him. So he's put in 7 years of this. Now he's Pro Series top tier. But he's doing the same thing that the Paul brothers are doing. They've put in 3 years of this. Still losing records. Well, at least one brother is losing record. One brother is fighting fucking cans of paint. But that's why, again, I'm a fight fan. So Tyrone Woodley better focus on just pure boxing, because he already hits hard as shit. He's already an aggressive motherfucker. In that face-to-face conference, I'm going to beat your ass. Yeah. That shit was so damn funny. Fuck all this talk shit you doing.
I noticed that's Paul Jake's thing is he always, because he got Money in the Bank, right? He's done it when Witchcom went to go wrap the hands and he got into with a Jay Leon dude. He was like, put this on, bet on your guy, do this. Like the people who got money, like he's one of those people, Jake, that he has the money and he gotta always bet on something because he knows he's good for it. So it doesn't affect him. Tyron, he's like, that's when we start saying, I'll beat your ass. Like let's skip that because I'm getting this money. I'm getting this money, and it's like that. That's just like that'll be like, if every fight you bet your purse. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm doing this to win. So no, I'm not. I'm not giving away my fucking purse. If I donate to charity, let me do that on my own accord, and it doesn't have to result as a result of losing a bet. That's lame.
And not by your fucking whatever you're dictating. Yeah. Fuck you. I'm going to beat your ass.
Yeah.
And if I do whatever I feel like doing, it's going to be after.
Well, the fact that he got the clause to instant rematch here, that right there shows how much confidence he has to get this done. So, hey, man, you can fake it until you can't fake it no more. He did what he did. He beat Askren, which again people don't like. He's a world champion, yes, but he's a wrestler that used the wrestling base to win. The wrestling was the focal point, which is why he beat all those guys, because he was so good at wrestling, Olympic level. Right. But he didn't. He's not a striker, so you're getting these guys who are less talented than you in that one particular thing. So now you're about to get a guy who can throw. So
But he got to tighten it up.
You got to tighten it up for sure because he does low hand stuff a lot and all that. So, I mean, what I'm saying, being a fighter and, I mean, training and stuff like that, there's a possibility on pure boxing that Jake could actually beat Tyron Woodley, man.
Yep.
And people are not, they looking past, I'm like, bro, it's an actual, boxing is a science and you got to learn that science. You can't just because you're throwing hands at MMA, Taekwondo, Muay Thai, that's a different kind of, those are all different throwing hands and feet techniques. Distances. You got the Thai clinch, you standing back like that. These guys are like this. The Thai guys keep you at the distance with their hands and feet. The next thing you know, the feet comes between your hand and your chin for a guy that doesn't know how to do that. So Taekwondo guy, goddamn, who was the one that was doing? You got Wonder Boy, you got Leo Machida, you got MVP over in Bellator. They all come from that karate Taekwondo shit, and they do that fucking spinning back kick that only those guys can do. Joe Rogan and those guys can do that shit. Stand right in front of you and then rotate 360 degrees and kick you in the fucking stomach. And it feels like they run from across the room.
I was just about to say, it feels like a horse just kicked you.
Kicked you in the fucking stomach, and now you're 5 feet in the ground over there in a fetal position, and they're just standing up, ready for more. So it's like different styles, and that's why I just want to see it. I don't give a fuck who wins. I rock with Tyron as a fighter, and he's getting a lot of shit from people, but I like his style. You know, he's a cool dude. You know, I'm not gonna pick him. I think you're in the same boat with me. I just want to see a fight. I just want to see it happen, dude. It's like that's for most. So if you could just do that, you know, there's some fighters like I favor more than others, but at the end of the day, I just want to see John Jones fight Ngannou because we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I got an idea of what's gonna happen based on John's credentials, but also Francis will knock his fucking head off if he catch him properly. What he did to Alistair Overeem, who is one of the top strikers in MMA, K1 kickboxing champion. Pride champion, like, you know what I mean? So there's all that MMA math and all that boxing. Like, bro, when they get in there and they close that fucking cage or they say fight, we gonna see what happens.
All of that. All of that outside the ring shit.
Yeah.
Now you gotta show up inside.
And I think that's why fighting correlates so much to life because it is like it's life in life. And we're gonna wrap it up on that, man. But a lot of people don't realize, man, like, you know what I mean? You can talk all that bullshit. You can say you're going to do all it. You're going to promise a sponsor. You're going to show up. You're going to promise Mishimoto. You're going to do this many events and all that shit because everybody got 8,000 drivers under Mishimoto. Different story. But, you know what I mean? You got, and I'm one of them, but I don't fuck with them too much anymore. But it's like all that shit you talking, man, when it comes down, and I'm like, bro, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fucking do what I got to do, show up, and if I get it done, I get it done. If I don't get it done, I'm going to recalculate, come back again until I get it done. Get it done. Aaron Parker, we just talked about. He went through what he went through. He did what he had to do.
That's exactly.
Now he got it done. He didn't stop. And there's difference between
however long it took him, he found a way.
I'm on that day.
Be the best man.
I'm on that path, man. I told guys straight up, I'm a good driver, but for whatever situations, man, I've been doing this shit for this long. I'd never podium in anything. I never podium in a fucking play event, a real event. I've been right there. I've been my best result has been a top 16, and that was in my whole career, my whole drift career. My best thing has been a top 16 in my first pro event. That's it.
And it's such a blur when it does happen. You're gonna be just doing shit, and then my first one, dog. I would just qualify good, battle get taken out. Qualify good, battle get taken out. Qualify good, battle get taken out. And it happened in my first season, but after we ran 5 rounds that first season, 4 rounds of absolute frustration, nothing happening. The 5th round, the final, I won one. Okay, all right, hold on. I got to get ready. Is my car going to be, do I have enough tires? Do I have enough gas? Won another one. I didn't even think about it. Man, it was the finals before I realized my boy, he came in, opened my door. He's hype. Yo, we just got one more, yo. Turn your car off. Save some gas. And I'm like, oh, nah, something happened to my car. I got to keep it running.
Oh, yeah.
Cut on. And he's like, bruh, you're in the finals. This is it. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It just happens. Dude, I'm telling you, that feeling that you're going to get the second that you do get a penalty. And I used to always, I mean, not penalty, a podium. I used to always look at dudes. I'm not that emotional, so it can't happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. It didn't happen to me. But when you've put in that work,
yeah, it all comes out right there.
People on the podium, yeah, and then they're whining or crying or whatever. Oh man, we just worked so hard. I feel it.
Yeah. Same.
And you wasn't anticipating it. You've been working your ass off, keeping your head low and just shooting.
Bro, that shit, man, because that shit right, man, what you saying, that right there, people, that what they're seeing right there is all the fucking nights, all the failed relationships because you were doing this dumb shit with cars, all your wife bitching at you because you're wasting time, you missing your kids, all that shit, man. You missing your you know what I mean, your partner died while you was away doing this, and all that shit, man, all that shit into one moment. And that's when you see it a lot with Olympics, you see a lot with guys winning championship. It's like, bro, all that shit, man, combinated, all those fucking free throws, all those layup drills, all that shit, man, all the blown in just pulled out.
The Olympics, it only comes around 4 years.
Yeah, but then you get
work.
Yeah, then you get dudes like, Brady is like, this becomes normal. Like
that's regular.
But the first time wasn't like that. But it becomes normal. Michael Phelps is like, we know Michael Phelps gonna get all the golds if he's still competing.
You're right.
But I think he's done. But it's just like it's just those Usain Bolt. Who the fuck's gonna beat him until he retires?
That new girl. That's
I heard about it. Yeah.
Little hood rat burning everybody.
Yeah, man.
She's gonna win some gold, and it's gonna be like, for her, it might be different because she's fast. She works at being fast, but she kind of just came into it. It wasn't like, I'm born to do this, But like I was saying, you've been working and all of this shit. Once you get, and it doesn't matter, like you were saying, a fun event, a play event, dude. That don't matter. I've got 1, 2, 3 trophies over there from fun events.
Right.
Just at random. Me and my homeboy, they're like, yo, we need more teams for team tandem. Well, it's only 2 of us. Well, you're a team, and that's tandem, right? Yeah. Okay. Then we go and we fucking whoop, wop, boom, 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 bam, boom, bam. Holy shit, y'all won or second place. We got second place. We got third place on one. We were just playing around, literally just playing around. Matter of fact, me, JTP, and Darren, when we went and did Ride Squad, we got trophies we didn't even pick up from Sonoma. We won, and it was just like, that was tight. Can we drive some more, though? Yeah. And we forgot to pick up our trophy. But when those happen, Doug, when they're like, yo, and give it up for, Dottie and Pinku style, and this just happened. And then you're like,
yeah. Oh, but the funny thing, the funny thing about that is I'm tracking it because I'm real about it, and I don't embellish and be fake. But there's motherfuckers out there they'll be like, hey man, they don't even like, you follow me that tough to know this is my first podium. It's like, you were what, like he been doing this long and he ain't fucking like do anything or whatever. It's like, dude, you know what I mean? Every situation is different. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna talk about why I didn't do it. Most of the times there's driver error, and then other situations, which, I mean, they happen. I know what the reasons was and whatever. I mean, I'm in a place where I got a shop, I got trucks, different ball game now. So when I come back, I'm gone 5 years. So when I come back now, I got infrastructure, I got connects all over. I got, you know what I mean? It's a different, what I didn't have none of that before, and also been an outsider and stuff like that, and driving, I had one car driving daily, and I was doing shit, I'm gonna keep real on this. I'm driving 6 hours away to an event one way and back with a car full of shit. I might blow the engine.
I know that do that. That's insane.
I might blow the engine. I blew the trans before, and I fucking fixed that bitch enough to drive home from 10 hours away with no clutch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey man, we were gonna do it or we ain't, and that's the shit where that's the separation, man. Where if you got the resources to do it, cool. But I didn't have it. I didn't have the money for a truck. I was like, man, I'm going to this event, man.
Man, I have the Super D wins or the trophies and shit. It was weird because the first round I got fourth,
Mm.
and I was flat towing the car.
Mm.
And I was like, damn, these boys are going hard. Like, we're making car contact and shit. Let me buy a trailer because I know if I want to get good, I'm going to get contact. And I'm not about to be dragging my car home with the wheels pointing out the rest. Let me buy a trailer. Yeah, so let me buy a trailer. So that's out of my head. I ain't even thinking about that.
No, definitely, yeah.
Next round, third place. I said, okay, I got it. They go really hard, and I'm going to go that much harder. Next round, second place. I'm like, all right, cool. And then the last round that I was positive that I was going to beat Julian again in the finals, and I wanted to finally put that stamp on beating him. I went a little too hard and caught that spin and got blasted and was like, all right, that was too hard. Like, that was a little bit much. So from that point, I was like, okay, I know my not my limit, but my awareness needs to be at a certain point because I was tired that day. My awareness needs to be at a certain point to push past my 85%. If I'm going anywhere higher than that, I better slept good, ate good, shit
So
good,
much,
and been
man.
comfortable.
So much shit, man. People don't right what you said. Look at any fighter, man. They not fucking part. Well, there's been stories of some fighters partying the night before a big bout.
Tyson say he
different
bitches
shit.
Jordan.
Different
But
shit. Yeah, Tyson was like, "There's that."
had.
I remember when the dude asked Tyson was that banging chicks before the. He's like, "Nah, man." He's like, not at all, because I'm pretty sure I did it a lot of times right before I knocked motherfuckers out. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean, that's again, we talk about elites. We talk about Tyson. We talk about another dude that who got to work the 9 to 5, and you got the 9 to 5 dickhead ass boss, and then you got to do this and do that, all that shit, man. Like I've done events, man, where I barely fucking slept. I know my last D1 event. I didn't sleep at all. I was up for 48 hours. Like I said, it's always good talking to you and shit and everything. And I'm actually way. I'm the reason I'm chill too, because I'm like, I normally leave for Tokyo like at nighttime, but I'm leaving like it's broad daylight, so I get some daylight to drive down. And honestly, like I told my wife, I'm like, bro, if I'm here, I'm gonna be up to fucking 12, 1 o'clock at night anyway. That's 8 hours. I'm gonna be down there. So it's like, it don't fucking matter. That's the way I think about shit. You play Call of Duty for 8 hours, or you can go out and work on your car for 8 hours. Your choice. Your choice.
I've noticed that some days when I sit down to do some sim racing,
yeah,
I'm down at like 12
I
and
got Oculus. Yeah.
And then I fucking look and it's like 10 at night.
Yeah.
God damn!
Yeah.
I've been sitting here that long.
Yeah, man. That's why I can't touch it, man. Because I got another PC and I got the Oculus joint set up, and that shit is, man, that shit's like real. Like the track looks real, bro. Yeah, it's like real timing. Like it's real. It's real distance, and which on the game when you playing on the monitor, it's kind of like from the elevated view or even in the car. But on the Oculus on the PC, I was like, what the fuck, man? It's the same. Yeah. And I know that the track is a little wide, but it's the same. I was able to get in the car and actually do what I did in reality with a couple of laps. I'm like, this is fucking crazy, bro. Because it actually puts that real depth perception, and it takes away that you're not in the car. So the only thing I need next is the motion thing, and that'll be which I'm working on that right now to be a dealer for those guys and everything. So, but anyway, man. Good to talk to you and everything, man, as always.
Hell yeah, bud, man. Have a safe trip, safe journey. Dude.
Yeah, I'm just chilling down there and everything. Take care of business, get back up here and do and rinse and repeat, man. Like it's like I said, like we talked about in the beginning, guys there listening and watching, man. It's like that grind, man. It's like know that there's me, there's Lex, there's other people out there that's doing it. So when you feeling tired and shit, and you gotta get it done, and you gotta take care of you can either quit and go home and fucking stay up for 5 more hours doing nothing, or just stay in it. Because motherfuckers do that. Oh, I'm tired. And go home and do nothing. I'm like, bro, that's 5 hours, and it's kind of a bad thing for me because I feel like a loser for chilling. Like
hell yeah. I tell my son, man, I say, hey, look, cuz, I work hard, so you work hard.
Right.
Like today at his graduation, I went. He know I was up at 4 a.m. Went and bust all these jobs out.
Right.
10 came to where they was at. We drove over to his school, graduate, take pictures. Geez, smile, geez, congratulations, man. Good job. I'm going back to work.
Yeah.
And it's like, I work hard, so you better work hard.
Yeah, man. My wife, she be looking at me like I get up like 5. I need to start getting up early. I need to get back in the gym, man, because it's getting getting where I don't like my body and shit, right? So she's like, you get up this early, right, and do that. You go to work. She know I'm doing a lot of stuff, and then I come home, bring the kids home. I play with them a little bit for like 30 minutes, and I go like I gotta go because her mom's here now, so I'm taking advantage of her mom being here with the twins. So I gotta go back. So I mean, dude, I was man. I knocked out those 3 cars, man. Like I did. Dude, I pretty much 2 weeks worth of work in a normal shop I did in 3 days. Any other shop, they would have spread this shit out over 2 weeks. And I'm like, man, I got to get this cash. I got to pay this, blah, 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 this, and this. And it's like that in the family and what I got to do. And also my own shit, my own stuff that's sitting out there with the parts in it that I want to work on, that got all the parts sitting in the car. I just ain't got time. I mean, every little part I need, every nut, flare, bolt, line, turbo, manifold is in the car. Motherfuckers don't come to my shit because I got cameras and shit, and I got katanas here. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like fucking fingers be missing and shit, like Yakuza and shit, man.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, man. But hey, man, thanks again for we'll definitely chop it up. I'll mess. We'll double tag team. Aaron, no homo. And it's like pause or whatever.
Pause. I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah, good one.
Yeah,
that was a good catch.
Cause some motherfucker go all the way to 3 hours and clip that shit out. Like these motherfuckers, they sideways for real, man.
Yeah, I'll see. He's busy. I'll reach out. You can reach out.
Yeah.
We, you know, if we get a response from him, and then the other person you messaged me about, I'll reach out.
Yeah. See what's up.
And
definitely one of the living OGs, man, modern OG.
Yeah, dog. Yes. Yeah, he's got a very interesting story as well. Yeah. Very, very unique. But yeah, man, we working, staying busy, and yeah, car shit is going up. We've got we're open for business.
Yeah,
we got spectators. This weekend, no more masks, and we back.
Yeah.
I got a random COVID test the other day because certain counties are like, you can't come work in here unless you take a COVID test, which is against the HIPAA laws. And I just let them do it because I wanted to see, because I had COVID not too long ago, so I just wanted to see what it came up as on the test. Came negative, so. But yeah, we keeping it busy, man. So keep it rocking.
For sure. All right, man. I'm gonna get out of here and everything. Do that and everything. So guys out there again, be sure to check out KOE Family. Let's see what Lex got going on. Always uploading some cool bike stuff, car stuff, and everything, and then vibing with the family stuff like that. Be sure to check out my channel, of course, where you're watching this at right now. And definitely, man, like I said out there, man, just man, do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Just know that everybody else, you ain't the only one going. I mean, no matter what you're going through, somebody's been through the same shit or worse. And that's just you know, but you can get deep on that shit. You know what I mean? And people are like, you know, a lot of people complain about shit that ain't this. I mean, it's okay. And with me, I'm not saying. I know Lex is not saying either. Yeah. It's not that we're saying be rock solid and don't talk to somebody, because if you do that, it's even worse. But pick who you're talking to, because that motherfucker. And I've experienced it, man, where you feel like you're close to somebody, you tell them some shit, and
somebody's backstab.
And I'm like, I bring it up. Oh no, I'm like, yeah, bitch, it was, and we're done, and everything.
And we're done.
And we're done. You know what I mean? So I thought I could trust you, and that sucks, but it happens and everything. And look, man, Julius Caesar thought he had a lot of people in his circle. Look what happened to him. Got stabbed in the court, shit, during the hearings. You know what I mean? People ain't for you, man. So we touched on that a little bit, man. Be cognizant, have your situational awareness. Know that everybody out there ain't for you, and that includes your family, immediate family sometimes too. You know what I mean? So yeah, just be safe out there. Hopefully this COVID experiment shit is is near done, and things get back to normal, man. So hey, get it done, man. So it's gonna be down there signing off from South Japan. My guy Lexis signing off from Richmond, California. Not CA, not VA, and everything like you said before.
VA, not VA, baby. Yeah.
But cool. See you guys later. Peace.
Yeah.